Hey, how's it going? Uh, this is definitely a video that's gonna be more on the heftier side with length here. I think it's like an hour or two long. I'm not really sure. As per usual, I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible. So me and my boy Kishin decided to do an idea of. It started off as a joke. We decided to try to do the idea of making a tier list of what our favorite maps were. So what you're gonna see is my tier list, and then we kind of just go over mine and the differences between mine and his. If you want to see his POV, I think he's making a video. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know when that's gonna be out. Or if you want to check out his stream, I'll leave a link here. And it will be also in the description if you want to check him out. Chill, dude. Uh, but as per usual, I'll try to keep this short. I also stream on Twitch, so if you want to check that out as well, that'd be much appreciated. Come hang out with us. Usually we're playing like Black Ops or whatever, but uh, hope you guys enjoy. Take it easy.
What's up, you hoe?
What's up, you ho?
Where's your tier list? I want to see it.
I was gonna say how you want to do this. Want me to screen share or?
Um, yeah, actually, you can screen share. That'll probably be
I bet.
I'll just pull it up in my screen, and we'll just go from there.
All right, there you go.
Hell yeah. Sheesh.
Sheesh.
All right, let's look at. I want to see. I'm actually I want to see what your tier list looks like. No bullshit. Hold on. I'll just do this. I'll just do. Shit. I should have
Dude, honestly, like when I was sitting there watching, I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel old.
It really did. I'm not even gonna lie. It kind of did.
Like
It made me
I'm
feel
like
old.
even like watching you go through yours and seeing what you put like over what I put on mine made me feel old because of like the nostalgia that I have.
Mhm. Mhm. All right. Let's see. I have the window pulled up. There it is. So we'll just. So this is his trash tier list.
Excuse me?
I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, you did the same as like mine as far as anything. Actually, no, that's not true. Hold on. I want to see your S tier maps. That's what
Yeah, I had to completely switch them all around because when you were doing like I didn't I just put them like in tiers I thought that they belonged in, and then you were like, oh, like you were doing like, oh, does
I
this rank
did
higher
everything
than
with
this
S.
in
Yeah.
that tier? So I
Yeah.
completely rearranged them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
did. That's personally what I did. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Why did you put Nocturne Totem in S tier?
Okay, the
That's
reason
what
that
I.
I put it in S tier is because it's the game that it's the map that I started on. It is it is
Okay.
the map, like that is the
Okay.
first ever map I've ever played out of any of these, and it's what made me love zombies. So like that's the
Okay.
only reason I put it. Honestly, if I started on any other map, I would say
That's
that'd
fine.
probably be like a C tier for me
Hold on
because
though.
it's basic.
Did you put? Let me put it back. Shit. Hold on.
What?
That's what I was looking for. Oh, you put all three of them up
Oh,
there.
I
I
just put
thought you
all
were gonna
three of
do
them
them
for the sake of
individually.
just
Okay.
it's knock.
Okay.
It's the same fucking thing. So
Okay. That's fine. That's
yeah, I just
understandable. I
kept like
basically did the
it's
same
all
thing
just
for a lot
graphics.
of
I
them.
just kept them all in the same, like pretty much.
hmm Origins is very
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
Origins hands
DE
down favorite
self
map of all time. So
DE is self-explanatory.
mhm.
Mob self-explanatory. Shadows is kind of self-explanatory. The ones that I buried, I'm not questioning like as much as I'm questioning die rise.
I
Like
honestly like I was
why?
so tempted to put buried over shadows, but the only reason I put shadows over
Okay.
buried was because of obviously shadows has so much or like more that you could do in it, like origins or mob or de.
hmm Yeah.
be
Yeah.
buried, the only reason I
It's
put it in
understandable.
there is because for one it's a really good map. The like, oh, it's a the
It
first, I
is.
think the
Yeah.
only style that we have that's like a western kind of style.
That's true too.
And like just Leroy on his own is fucking. I love him to death.
Yeah, that's kind of why. I mean, it's in my A
Like
tier. I mean, as
he
far as anything,
introduced the
yeah,
mechanic of
it's up
holding
there.
zombies. Like he was lit.
Literally, you really did.
And I
You
thought
really
like the
did. That's true.
ghost thing was all cool, like that she can steal your like she's an asshole pretty much. The reason I put Die
She
Rise in
literally will.
and
Yeah,
because honestly,
that's
personally,
the
the only
questionable one for me.
I was tempted to put it in A tier, and I'm still kind of tempted to change it and put it into A tier, mainly because I think the EE to the map sucks. But personally, I had a lot of fun on this map. I used to play it with friends all the time. I fucking love the map. I I don't have anything else really to say against it. Like personally, I just the
Okay.
map is lit. Like I
Okay.
there are some things like like I do hate the fact that you can follow your fucking death. But
Mhm. That's literally the reason I never touched it ever again.
no, but but then I
I
also reminded
hate it.
myself of like moments where I'll put down on trample steam and tell my friend to come here and I push him off the map. So
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had the experience of playing with other
mhm.
people. I didn't have
Like I played it by myself as well,
live.
but
Mm-hmm. I played it. I played it by myself. Never played it with other people. If I did, it was with randoms, maybe once, if not twice.
yeah.
And I just didn't have fun on it. Like the trample scene is a very interesting,
Mhm.
um, what the fuck is it? Buildable. Sorry, I was gonna say perk like a
I almost
dumbass.
said
It's a
mechanic,
very
but it's pretty
interesting
much
buildable.
buildable,
Yeah,
yeah.
mechanic is another one I would have said too. Like it's a very interesting, buildable as far as anything. I think BO2,
Mhm.
a lot of the maps that are on BO2 could be better.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if certain things were just adjusted. I think Die Rise, if I probably
Excuse me.
played it more, it could be higher for me.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Honestly,
The
like
only thing that would bring it up higher, if I really do, if I were to bring it up a tier, if anything, would probably just be the wonder weapon. Like the
yeah,
liquefier
like the
is
only
literally
reason
like
that
one of the best wonder
it is
weapons
where it
in
is
PC.
because of how much fun I had with it. The Sliquifier was a lot of fun to use. Trample Steam, just once you
Hmm.
learn the map, it was a lot of fun to play, and especially when you finally got people to play with as well, it was a lot of fun to fuck around with on the map. But like it's
Yeah.
still like it barely hit S just because of that factor of the like
Hmm.
nostalgia I had to it. But honestly, like if it was the map alone and I didn't have that nostalgia, it'd be like maybe B tier, A tier because the Easter egg fucking sucked. Um, it
Yeah.
was a
The Easter egg for
annoying thing to
transit
deal
sucked too.
with.
I totally forgot about
Yeah,
it. I totally forgot about the Easter egg for
I think I
transit.
got like I don't think I
totally
ever really
forgot about
completed it to
it.
be honest.
Yeah, I never did it. I
I think
never
I
did the
kept getting
Easter
like
egg for
halfway, and then
transit.
it's just like the whole like dragon step or whatever it was. I don't even remember how to do it now. It's been so long, but like
Hmm.
yeah, that map was it was fun, but like EE wise, it was ass. But
Very true. Very true. Okay. All right. I want to go over your A tier. I mean, the Kino, I don't really have a question for it. Town, I don't have a question for it. Um, I'm not really surprised at Darius because I know people like have Darius as like a favorite
mm-hmm.
more than anything, just because it's like a very nostalgic
Yep.
map. Um, it is a very nostalgic map. Only reason why it's not nostalgic for me is just because of the simple fact that when I played Darius, I played it on BO1 and I was just like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
Like it's in my B tier personally. Like I think it's in my B tier. I don't think it's as good as for me as far as like nostalgia wise. I don't think it's as good as Town. I don't think it's
Yeah,
personally as good
and
as
that's why I was
Mission,
saying like when I was looking
So,
and like well obviously we'll go over it obviously when you show yours again, but that's why I was like talking about
mhm.
like while I was watching you there, like it made me feel old because of how many of the older versions you never played, and I've played every single version of these maps.
See, then you're older than me by I think like a month or so
Hmm.
or some shit like that. When were you born?
June 4th.
Yeah, so you're literally older than me by a couple days. No bullshit. You're older
Wait,
than me by a couple
when were you
days.
born?
So I was born the 11th of June.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But
Uh huh.
you a 99 baby,
So,
right? Okay.
sir, yes, sir.
And yeah, I'm literally just
So for me, like it's just because I didn't I like I never got World at War for my PS3. I never got Black Ops 1 for my PS3. I never and if I did play, I never touched World at War, not even once. I never did. Um I've only touched BO1 because I never had it myself. Either my family member had it or a friend of mine had it.
I don't
So,
even remember like I remember playing World at War. Like I met like I was because again like that was like the first thing that I played. I don't remember like
mhm,
I can't remember like what console I played it on because I don't like I didn't have my own console for a good while. And I
mhm.
originally started on PC and then went to PlayStation, but it wasn't my PlayStation. It was a siblings of mine. So I just played on it
Yeah,
whenever,
exactly.
he was
Mhm,
asleep or wasn't home.
mhm.
So I don't know if I had it on that or I don't remember. All I remember
Yeah,
is
no,
like it was
exactly. Yeah.
I played all of them.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense as far as anything. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't disagree with your Derice pick. I don't think I do as far as anything. Like everything that's in your A tier, I can agree with.
Mhm.
Like Malware, I know, like we've already talked about it. It's literally just because I think like it's a Cold War map. I don't think Malware, at least for you, and I think I don't want to say your standards based on maps, but like how you feel about zombie maps. That's probably why it's not an S for you. Like mine is a very close. It's like very close A. You know, like mine would be an A tier, but it's because I actually like I really liked the map and I played it more often. Um, once it came out than any other map, even considered Outbreak. Like I played Malware a lot more than I played Outbreak. I think like I played Outbreak just because of the weapon level
Mhm.
ups, but that's it. And then maybe just to do
Yeah,
challenges.
on it
But
like
as far as high rounds and then having fun, Malware was so
yeah,
much fun.
honestly,
It was
the
really
only reason I put Mauer in A tier is because of when we did the Easter egg. That
oh
was the deciding
yeah.
factor because I'm like the map it by itself is really cool because it's something a little new. Like we finally got a map that wasn't like they tried something new and it wasn't fucking dog shit.
That's what I was saying. Like,
So
I mean, like it in reality, it is like essentially it's a copy and paste from the campaign, but it doesn't feel like it is.
exactly like it
I think
felt
that's one of the
new.
deciding factors.
And like
Exactly. It felt completely
and
new.
on top of
Like
that,
it's not like
like that
a copy
EE wasn't
paste.
bad. Like the Easter egg
And
really wasn't that bad. It
oh,
was actually kind of fun to
The
do.
EE was fun. Yeah, the EE was fun. I can say that for a fact. I think the EE was fun. I like how the Wonder Weapon or the Cerberus, yeah,
hmm
Cerberus
Oh,
literally had
Cerberus was a big tie over. That was a really cool gun.
Cerberus was is definitely like top 5
Yeah,
Wonder
it's
Weapons of
probably
all
one of
time.
the cooler ones.
Yeah.
Like, I would say it's probably like my top three, honestly, because to be honest, like, it's just such a weapon that I never expected. For like, it was like an advanced
Mhm.
weapon, but like the reason that I liked it so much is because, to be honest,
It's like it didn't
yeah,
belong there,
well, it didn't
but it was
belong there.
really
But also, like, the fact is, every other type of gun they've ever tried to introduce, or any style of that gameplay of like cyber kind of nut, they've always fucked it up. But
Mhm.
but the
Yeah.
Cerberus, for some reason, I don't know what it like. I don't know why it was, but it was such a fun gun to use. I don't know if it
Oh
was
yeah.
because like I personally I like the pistol version the most, but like every
Oh,
version of
like
the gun was a lot
starter
of fun to use.
yeah, like the starter version
Even
for
if
it.
they weren't like good for high rounds, it was still fun to use.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
just
it
felt
really was.
fluid,
I like
like it felt
Easter
fine.
egg for it. The boss fight was pretty
Mhm.
fun. It was actually difficult to
Mhm.
do, you know. It wasn't like super hard. I mean, um I totally forgot about Klaus. Klaus is definitely better than the Silver
Oh,
Protector.
100%.
Just because he has
True.
voice lines.
Dude,
Like
I loved him so much. Like
right.
just the
Klaus
snarky
was
remarks he gave back.
great.
He gave
Klaus
me
was great.
vibes of the transit robot.
Oh fucking
I forget
what's
his
his
name.
name? He does have it. Ted.
Ted. Oh yeah, Teddy boy.
Ted. Yeah, Teddy boy. Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, I think like I only just have it in S literally just because it was the one that I liked the most out of Cold War
Mhm.
Zombies It's my favorite from Cold War. It has one of the better Easter eggs from Cold War. The Wonder Weapon in Cold War. The way I think you have to get it for free is very an interesting way. Like I know you can get all of them for free. I think Mauer's was probably the better one to get it for
Hmm.
free. I think. Like I mean, the free like in D Machine, it's easy to get it, but it's not like interesting. I think Mauer's is interesting. It's
Well,
like
yeah,
you
because
need
you have to
Cloud
walk around with a
open a
black
lock
light and like look along the
black light to
walls and
find
try to
the
find the code. And it's in different spots. It's never in the same spot either.
Yep,
And then you have to
exactly.
go to a little
Which
safe and actually like crack the safe open with that code you found and like get the gun.
yep, yep, that's true.
So like that's what pushed it over the edge. I'm like, it's like
Mm,
it just pushed you right up there. I'm like, it's not better than like Nine or Giant or any of that because it's just nostalgia, but it's definitely an A tier for me.
oh yeah, understandable. And then what else did you have? Let me see. Oh, nine. Nine is pretty. I mean, I put nine at S tier just because nine out of all the other maps that I have played from BO4 was the one that I played
Yeah,
the most.
Nine
It's
was
the one that
100%
had
the
the
map that I
most
played the
fun
most of
on.
BO4.
Yeah, yeah. Nine was the one that I
The
had the
only
most
reason I
fun
put it
on.
in A is because it's a Black Ops 4 engine.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
All right. That's
if it was
that's
like Black
understandable.
Ops 2 or Black Ops
Yeah,
3 engine, I would have loved
100.
it way more.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Oh
Cold
yeah.
War
I think
engine.
I think even I think if a lot of the maps in BO4 were either on Cold War's engine or BO3's
They would be
engine,
so much better.
yeah, definitely. 100. Yeah, they definitely would be better. We're still. Oh yeah, now you're in B. Shinonuma. I mean, Shinonuma for me, it was just like it's what the fuck. I mean, it's like one of the regular maps as far as
Mm.
just like survival. Shinonuma's cool. Um, what's that? Your B tier, right? I just have mine in C tier. Ours is literally just based off of like mine. I don't have much played on it, so like if I played the maps more, I'd probably have would have a different outlook on it as far as
Yeah,
anything.
I really based my list
I don't.
more off like nostalgia and like just more about like what
Mhm.
maps I had fun on the most. Like personally, like or like what I played the most.
Yeah, I feel you. That makes sense. Yeah, that's completely understandable. Let me see. Yeah, Shino Numa, Shishino. Five? Where did I put five? Oh, mine is at C. I mean, even just to compare it here, let's just talk about the comparison. Not necessarily between like our
Hmm.
picks of where we put them, but I think the comparisons between five and classified. Classified, I think, had certain things that were better than five, but I still think five at least, not just nostalgia wise, but like um I would say difficulty wise, five was
Yeah.
better. Five was a pretty difficult map. If like you literally never in five at least, you never wanted to go down in the
No,
basement.
no, 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 no,
Only to
no.
turn on the fucking that shit. It was dark as hell. It was
Yeah.
terrifying. You did not want to go
Yeah,
down there
dude,
for
if you were, and
anything.
especially if
Like
you were
I
down
would
there
run.
and having the crawlers walking around you, and also like when the labs,
Yup.
see, that was the thing that like I wanted to put five in C tier because of the fact I'm like, that fucking scientist bitch pissed me off. But personally,
Oh
it
yeah,
was just
because it's
such a
fully
good
yeah.
map. Like it was difficult.
Yeah.
Like there was so many close
hmm
corners. You're basically in,
It's a close quarter. It's like it feel at least in the bottom.
mhm.
It's a close quarters map. Even if you were like even if you do decide to do like the like a strat to
and
where you sit
and
at the
personally,
door,
just the
for pass or
fucking
whatever.
just the cutscene alone for five was just such a little meme.
Oh yeah.
Calm down,
Yeah.
Dick. It's just a storm.
One of the one of the other reasons why actually, you know what? You know what's funny? I literally would probably put classified lower. Like the only reason why I think it's not lower, I'd probably put if I were to switch it, I probably would put Gorod Krovi above it. Maybe even but like I said, it's I have not played Gorod
Yeah,
Krovi
I played
personally.
Garod Crovey
Um
maybe like twice. And
I
one was
played
by
I didn't yeah,
myself, and
I
the
never
second time
played it.
was an EE attempt, and we didn't complete it because we I had to go, so we
Mm,
didn't even complete it.
okay.
But it
That
wasn't a
makes
bad
sense.
map. I just haven't played it very. I played it twice, but it was a
Yeah.
decent map.
I mean, as far as I think classified goes, they're considered Easter
Hmm.
egg. It's literally what you get a free winner's howl. That's technically mid. When I did it, I didn't even get the achievement for it. I know I did it, but I never got the achievement for it. I got the free winner's howl, and I think it's like a bonfire sale. You get like the free winner's howl and the bonfire sale from Moon or whatever. After that, literally, in order for you to get the cutscene, unless there's another way that no one else has figured out, you have to literally go to like round 155 or some stupid shit like that, just to get the classified cutscene.
Oh.
And that is literally like very shit for me,
Yeah,
you
that's I
know?
didn't even know that was a thing,
Um,
and that sounds fucking stupid.
you didn't
No, I
know?
didn't know.
Really? Oh yeah. No, the only way people were able to do it is they had to put the shield in the lab level, where the one buildable table was.
Mm.
It's literally in like a very small spot. I think one of the perks they literally had was Victorious Tortoise, to
Oh
where
yeah.
if you get hit from any side, it just hits the shield still. So they literally were just using the shield. I don't know if it was like an upgraded version of the shield, but you can literally sit there, constantly buy shield, and then just buy ammo, and then that's what people were doing.
Ah, fair enough.
They were waiting for their shield, so they were using the gun that was attached to the shield to shoot zombies, and then that's how people got the cutscene, which in reality was like, I think that's horrible. That's fucking stupid. Like, do you really think the average zombie player who wants to see a cutscene is gonna sit there for probably 2 to 3 hours on a shield just to get a fucking
No,
cutscene? No, I ain't gonna
I ain't
fucking
gonna
do it.
fucking do
I'm
it. I didn't even know it was a thing, and I
not.
still wouldn't have done it. Like no shot.
Exactly. So like, I mean, I think like, I mean, 5 could be higher for me, but I mean, as far as like if it would be higher, 5 would be in B tier, for example.
Mm.
But like I said, based off of what I've played and how I feel about it, I feel it has a nostalgia factor, it has the difficulty factor, so I think it's better than classified, even with everything else that's attached to it. Um, as far as anything, I mean, that's probably really all I can say. Other than, I mean, just the BO4 engine. Like the BO4 engine, I think a lot of people hate it anyway. You know, so that's just kind of like a given.
Yeah.
Not everyone liked the BO4 engine at all. Even just comparing it to between like basically the god tier of what fucking Black Ops 3, and then just Black Ops 4 was just like it's so bad.
Yeah, I don't
This
know what the
comparison.
like. I don't know why Black Ops 4 was just so ass in comparison.
Yeah, it really was. It really was just kind of ass. It's either like it's either considered mid or ass. It's either or sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I only say it would be. It's like a slight, like if you have mid and ass together, it's like in the middle,
Yeah. It.
because I only like tolerate. I think here that's the word for me. I tolerated it
Mm,
because I enjoyed the maps that they had for that game. You know, as far as anything. So that's at least how I feel about just the BO4 engine, probably in total,
yeah.
or as far as everything. What else do you have? You got the Final Reich. Okay. I mean, the Final Reich. I had. Where did I put mine at? I put mine at A, because it was literally the one that I played the most from World War II. It's obviously the best one. It's the most memorable. Technically, I mean, I liked that there were two different forms of the Easter egg, which was just an easy Easter egg, and then the harder version of the Easter
Yeah.
egg.
I
Um,
think the one I don't know. I don't
it's
remember
pretty.
exactly, but I did the one where it's like some blimp up in like or whatever shoots out or
Yeah.
something. I can't exactly remember. All I remember is some big
Mm-hmm.
ass fucking blimp.
Yep. And then technically, it wasn't really a. Well, it kind of was a boss fight, but it was more of like a chase scene that involved like a blimp. And then, I mean, as far as like I mean, even though a lot of people, like, if I were to compare, for example, Vanguard and World War II, I would say they're incomparable, at least for zombies wise.
World War Two was
World War
better.
II definitely takes the cake as far as anything. Even the
Honestly, I
story.
wish I played World War Two more. I only played two maps, and that was Grossenhaus and Final Reich. That was it.
Mm-hmm. I played at least every single one. I just don't remember like Nightmare or the Bodega one or whatever the fuck the other one. I don't remember them, so
There
that's
was
why I'm.
another one that I played of World at War, but I don't remember the map. I think it was Darkest
It could have
Shore, but I
been.
don't remember.
It could have been. It could have been the Darkest Shore. It could have even been the Shadowed
All I
Throne.
remember, it was like some
Throne or
bunker
Dark Light.
D-Day type of one, and I think it was Darkest Shore.
If it was the D Day, yeah, then it was the
Yeah, I
Darkest
remember
Shore.
playing.
Yeah,
I
if it
think
was
I
like
played
the
it
D Day.
once, and that was like with a sibling, and I played it one time and never
Mm-hmm.
played it again. I remember nothing of it. I was just all I know is I played it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember it though,
Yeah,
so I
I
didn't
mean,
even
one
know
of the
where to
things
fucking
that
put
like.
it. So I just said never
Oh
played.
yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, that's fine. That makes
I
sense.
don't
That makes
remember
sense.
anything of the map.
I I put the Final Reich at A
Mm,
instead of B only because, like I said, I have I wouldn't say nostalgia with it. I liked that they tried to do something different.
yeah.
The Easter egg was technically like handed to you more or less. You could do the easy version, but the other steps, the harder steps, were just something else that you could do. You know,
Yeah, and that's
um,
kind of why I put it over like Varrock and Ascension and Moon and stuff. Like Varrock, Ascension, and
mhm,
Moon were like they were good, but I just didn't play them. And to be honest, I feel like those maps weren't as rememberable as me to me as like Shinonuma,
yeah,
Kino, and Noct were.
yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
Final
that
Reich,
makes sense.
I honestly out of those maps for World at War like I mean World War Two was definitely probably one of my favorites. And
Oh yeah,
especially it
I
being like the
mean, as
first
far as like
map and only
games,
map, like
yeah,
well, sorry,
yeah.
first map they came out with was really good.
First game that literally had what the gun feature to where you can literally get the guns back that you had when if you died, if you bled out.
Yeah,
Like you could literally just go to I think it was just like a big ass loot crate and then you could just pick up your guns and boom, you're good.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
had to
had to buy
buy
your
it.
perks
Yeah.
all over again. I mean, you had. I mean, was that technically the game that had a field upgrade, the first field upgrades, right? I think so. I think that was technically.
I have no
I
idea. I
think
don't
it was
know.
technically. I think so. I
I
don't
did
know.
not play World War
As far
Two
as like
very
field
much, to be
upgrades,
honest. So
yeah, because I know they
I don't
had
even think
something
I
that was
own it.
like zombie blood, which is
I think I literally
probably
played it on a
not.
sibling's console, and that was it. Like I don't think I own it personally myself.
It was a solid game overall. Like World War Two, what it was, it was if I were to compare it to anything, it was literally as far as like overall, it was a modern warfare game.
Mm,
That's basically it was like a modern warfare or Infinity Ward type of game. The zombies was decent. The other like DLC maps were okay. I mean, well, not really, but the only literally it's like it sucked. The only good one was the Final Reich. That's it.
yeah.
Like the only good one was the
Well,
Final Reich.
like I said, like
Everything else
Grossenhaus
was
wasn't bad either, but it
oh yeah, yeah. I
like
completely forgot about that. That see like Grossenhaus and then like Noxer and Toten for me are on like more or less the same level. I just have Grossenhaus lower just because of nostalgia reasons
mm,
for Nocturne and Toten, at least for me. Like Grossenhaus, like I just like the fact that World War II, what they tried to do was they tried to make literally they tried to make zombies like fucking scary.
yeah.
They
And they
literally
did good at it,
did. And
honestly.
you got fucking you would walk around a corner and get fucking jump scared by a
Well,
zombie.
like
You
I
know, like
personally
they literally the zombies looked like they were fucking
yeah, and I
abominations. That's what
personally
they
like
made
if we
scary.
had
That's what it
the
was so cool
zombies
about
like
it.
from World War Two, like the way that they looked in like any of the other CODs, like in like Origins or
Yeah.
Noct or any, like Noct would be
Oh yeah.
perfect because it's a tiny map. It's fucking like there's so many corners and stuff.
That's that's what I thought they were gonna do for Cold War when D Machine came out. Like when you have the slight essence of like it being scary, for
Hmm.
example. It's very slight. It's not like a lot, but it's very slight.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh
why they like are stepping away from like zombies being scary, more like a cartoony kind of style, I guess. Like more like the scare factor is kind of just, it's a zombie. Who fucking cares, you know? Like, there's no immediate threat other than some different abomination that's not a zombie, being the actual threat.
mhm.
The zombies are just there to be
Yeah.
like, haha, we're in your way, fuck you.
Yep.
But like, you
Exactly.
go back to
That's
like Origins, or I mean even Shadows kind of had like a vibe to it. Like it wasn't really the zombies, it was like, the
I think Shadows had more of like a creepy
yeah.
vibe to it because of the
Yeah.
apothecans and the weird squid monsters, as everyone wants to call them. I mean, like even Mob of the Dead had like some sort of scare factor to it.
Yeah.
Like you're in a fucking
I like the
prison just
fucking
surrounded by
warden
zombies
chasing you.
on
Like for the first time
fire.
ever, like when
Yeah,
I first
chasing
saw
dead
like the
after you.
warden, that motherfucker scared the shit out of me. Like he just appeared,
Oh
like roared
shit!
at
Like
me and
yeah,
started running. I'm like, who the
yep,
fuck are you?
mhm,
you know?
yep, exactly, exactly.
Like,
I mean, that's at least how I feel about it. Like I feel World War II, if they put out like the Shadowed, not the Shadowed Front, the Darkest Shore. The Darkest Shore was cool. I liked the map. The one thing that puts it very bad for me is just the Easter egg wasn't that memorable.
mm,
The what else was it? Like the Easter egg, like I don't remember finishing the Easter egg. I know I didn't. I know there was a step that was literally fucking stupid, and I don't even remember it. I think you had literally to use one of the AA guns, and you had to maneuver it with the controls and shoot something at like a plane, and then a part would drop, and you would need to pick it up for something. I can't remember, but like it was a cool idea. I liked the map, like aesthetically. I hated the just the fog essence to
yeah.
it. That's the only thing I. The fog just was horrible. It fucking sucked as far as anything. I mean, Verrucht, we kind of really don't necessarily need to talk about it unless you really want to. I mean, Verrucht is, like I said, Verrucht and, I feel Verrucht, Shino Numa, and probably, I don't know about, well, not really Shangri-La. Shangri-La technically has like an Easter egg, so we could technically talk about it, but,
Yeah, Shinonuma, like
at
a
least
like
for,
Varrocked and Darice is more like nostalgia kind of, like they're not really,
yeah,
they're kind of like, there's really no Easter eggs to them. They're just kind of there for nostalgia
just
purposes.
there. Yeah.
Um
Yeah, the only other one it's just like Ascension. Like I mean, like I didn't play enough of Ascension.
the only thing I
I've
hated about
literally
Ascension was the fucking monkeys. They can go fuck
the
themselves.
monkeys, yeah.
Um
The monkeys were literally the Mori monkeys, I think, right? Aren't they the
yeah,
same
pretty
color? Where
much.
they were
Like they
like
were able, like
power up.
they were able to like steal your perks away and stuff like that, and they couldn't
Yeah,
steal
they were able
perks
to
off the ground, but they were able to like, that was just a different feature that he added.
like turn off the
Yeah,
machines
he
or
would be
something
able
like
to turn
that,
off the
right?
machine. You have to go over and rebuy it, like to turn it back on and stuff. And
Yeah.
so
Okay.
they were really
Yeah.
annoying. But
That's what I'm saying. I haven't played Ascension enough to like understand it or know. So like that's kind of why
like
it's in my C
even
tier.
like the simple dialogue of like, you had the option to either kill the person in the rocket or let him go, and just the simple chain, like the simple dialogue of that was pretty cool. Like your whole mission to Ascension was, there was a guy in a fucking spaceship that wanted to leave, and you helped him launch away. um and this wasn't part of, like, there wasn't an east that wasn't the Easter egg. It was just like a mini Easter egg on its own. He talks to you as you
Oh, okay.
entered.
So that wasn't even part of the
Yeah,
Easter.
he
Okay.
talks to you
Oh,
as you enter, and one it like keep you launching the rocket is basically like how you open up Pack-a-Punch. But there was a mini Easter egg to
mhm.
it. Like if you had a ray gun, you were able to destroy the ship. And I think it was Samantha
Oh
that
shit.
talks to you, or something talks to you, because like he talks about like, oh, she's after me or whatever. Like she's gonna kill
Mhm.
me or something like that. And then you have the option to either
Okay.
kill him or let him go away,
Okay.
which I thought was
Okay.
really cool. Like I've
That's
never
cool.
seen that before, and that was pretty
That's
cool.
kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like mine. I think where did I put mine? I put mine at C. Because I didn't play it enough.
Mm,
Like, I mean, the fact that it has an Easter, it's the first map that ever had an Easter egg, as far as anything. So
yeah.
that like kind of has it as a solid map. I haven't played it enough to know. I remember I know the monkeys are trash and they're horrible, but other than that, that's kind of really about
yeah.
it. As far as what I mean, it's a pretty solid map, and I mean, I don't really have questions about Moon. Mine are just really high because I played Moon a lot more than I obviously played Shinonuma or
Yeah.
Verrucht or Ascension or anything. And then they're like some of like my favorite maps. Like I actually like enjoy playing Moon. You know, I think I enjoy playing it more on BO3, but
Yeah,
It's gonna
Moon.
be a one.
Honestly, like I personally like Moon. And the Easter egg to it, like the whole factor of blowing up the Earth and stuff was pretty
Mhm.
cool. I
And then
just
it leads
personally
to the
didn't play it
Untitled.
very often. Like I don't play it enough. Like I even played
Mm-hmm.
it earlier, and I just like I don't
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know what I'm doing in the map. I literally
Oh yeah,
like
I saw you
always
playing
played
in
it for
person.
high rounds. I never played it for EE.
Yeah, I haven't tried the EE, but the EE looks pretty cool.
I've seen
I
the
think you
EE
probably should.
done, like I've watched it be done, and like it's a pretty cool Easter egg. I've just never like it. Like honestly, when it came to like Moon era and like all the older maps, it was the era where like I wasn't really into doing Easter eggs, mainly because like it's kind of boring
You were
doing
just
Easter eggs
playing.
alone for your first few times.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
I will
exactly.
definitely challenge myself on an EE. Um, after I've done it with friends and learned it enough and like I'm comfortable with doing it. But like if I'm gonna do it like an Easter egg, I'd rather, experience it with friends and have a good time doing it, than
Yeah.
doing it for by myself, having no idea what to do it and fucking up and getting pissed at myself because I'm like if I die, it's a restart. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no scapegoat to kind of like help myself and like learn.
You don't have someone to pick your trash
Yeah,
ass up,
exactly.
basically.
Exactly.
As far as anything, yeah.
So,
What the
it just made it more annoying to do
my tier
EE, so I
list? My
didn't
tier list is
do
done.
it. Um, but
My tier list is done. Ace's tier list is done. We're going over our tier lists right now. I think what are we? We're in B. Are we in B or C?
we were pretty much just finished up with B, and so
Yeah, we're finished. Yeah, we just finished B. So now we're gonna go to C. So I'm just basing my tier list off of like his and just comparing, and that's kind of what we're
yeah, we're
doing.
just like talking about
Um,
the maps and talking about like our experiences with the EEs and stuff, and kind of just skipping over certain maps
mm,
that like we skipped over Shino and all the maps that don't really they're just nostalgia reasons, not really just like EEs.
hmm
So,
the one I think I have the most questions for, as far as just even like glancing at
hmm
your C tier. Because I we kind of talked a little bit about Alpha Omega. We talked about Gorod Krovi a little bit.
yeah.
Blood, we kind of talked about a little. We'll probably talk about it more, especially because I have mine so high and yours is like 2 tiers lower and mine's 2 tiers higher. So we'll probably talk about Blood. Um, Transit though,
Yeah.
actually, we'll go with Transit and Farm. Um, Farm, I have nostalgia reasons for. I just didn't put it that high,
Yeah,
to be
like
honest. As
farm I
opposed to,
played quite often, and it's a
Mhm,
honestly like between town and farm, like these were the two maps that I played a lot. I didn't play farm as much as town, but I did really enjoy farm. Like it was actually kind of fun. Um,
mhm,
Honestly, I was thinking like Transit is definitely a C tier for me. I was actually kind of tempted to put it behind Revelations, and put Revelations as second or maybe even third and put Shangri-La up. The only reason
mhm,
and the reason that I wanted to put it down a little lower is because I hate the fucking Dennis thing. But honestly, if the Dennis
mhm.
wasn't a part of that map, Transit's actually a really good fucking map. Like even if the fog was still there, like it's a really well made map. It's just the
If the
Dennis that I
fog
don't like.
was still there, if the Denison, see, like their reasons for the Denisons, or also their reasons for the fog, was because Black Ops 2 wasn't supposed to run on the 360, and the it wasn't supposed to run very well, quote unquote, on the
hmm
360 or the PS. Um, as far as that's why there was so much fog and it was difficult to see. But the Denisons were just supposed to be the thing that was difficult, I guess, to get through the fog.
Yeah.
Do I think there should have been an easier way to deal with the Denisons? If like they kept the Denisons and did something to where like you can just knife it once and it's off,
Yeah,
or
that's what
there's
like
like a
see
perk
that's
or
one thing
something
like
that
if
you
it was
do.
literally just a simple one knife and he fucks off like that.
And he's dead. Yeah, boom.
Not, hey, I'm gonna knife you fucking 9 times before you
Nine
leave me
times.
alone.
Yeah.
Like the only way to get him
Exactly.
off
Yeah.
quicker is like I remember you had to get a Bowie knife and you could melee him 3 times, or like get a Gavel Knuckles and melee
Yeah,
him twice
Bowie
and he's
knuckle.
gone.
Yeah.
But like the
Mhm.
fact that I would have to spend 3,000 or 6,000 just to walk through the fog a little easier is a little annoying.
That's very true.
Like
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, like the whole fact of the Dennis, like the fact that I could teleport around the map, even like the fact that it's random, Like, it
That's
was
what I'm saying.
cool.
That was
It was a
interesting.
really
Yeah,
cool
using
thing, especially in
the
Black Ops 2 in its era. Like how creative
fucking
that was. It was really interesting. But
it's not teleporting.
Dennis,
Fuck is
huh?
the fucking mannequin buildable. What was it called? It started with T. I can't remember.
Turbine?
Turbine. That's what it is. Yeah, the turbine. Like you literally put the turbine
Yeah,
down
you put the
under the
turbine down
green
under the
light,
spotlight. You walk through the
under the
fog.
green light. You walk through it, come back out with a denizen on your head, and it
Yep.
digs, and then it's a hole, and you just transport
Yep.
randomly. Like that was fire. I thought that was really cool. I found that shit out like years later. I was like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?" Like that was cool as hell. I thought that was a really cool thing that they added. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, transit is where the fuck is it at for me? Transit is at transit's in D for me,
Mm.
and it's only because of nostalgia. It's because of the certain, the cool things about it. I think like it's just I feel like there's like the bus station makes sense. It's an area that you kind of need essentially to start transit,
Yeah.
but you don't stay there. There's no reason for you to stay there unless you need a turbine again. But that's it. You don't need anything else from the bus
Honestly,
station.
personally,
As
my
far as
favorite location to be at in transit is the place between spawn and dinner, like the dining, that little like tunnel, like where M16 Wallby is. It was one of my favorite spots to be
oh,
at.
hmm yeah, it was very interesting. I just didn't like it because, like, you could stand on the balcony and it would be considered denizens can't touch you, but as soon as you step off that platform, they run at
Yeah,
you. That I didn't fucking
yeah,
love.
and like also
That's why I was like,
like
that's fucking bullshit.
also again like it was also like transit was also technically like people like are like I know we talked about this before, especially with Die Machine, and we'll get into that. Because I know I heard you mentioning it earlier. But
Mm-hmm.
Transit was technically one of the first maps that actually introduced Nocturne Totem sort of into it. You did kind of have to go out there
Yeah.
for like an Easter egg part. But
You had to go out there for the
yeah,
dart gun. I think. Yep.
which you've
And
obviously you
that's it.
needed for EE later on. But like, honestly, literally, other than that, like the map itself is cool. If it just didn't have the dentist, it would be way higher on my list. Like honestly, I think it would be at least maybe like above 5 in B tier, maybe above
Yeah.
Shino.
hmm Yeah. I can understand.
Like
I think, like I said, I think there would need to be certain changes to it
yeah, like if they
as
got
far as
rid of
anything. Like
Dennis's
there
and
was,
made another way of how like that still have the teleporting mechanic, but just do a different way of
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
That was
hmm
still as simple of just turning the power on and then having a different way to do it. Or just simply
Yeah.
even like not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
getting rid of him, just make it so he's like a one hit melee, so he's just not a no.
Yeah.
I get why he's not a one hit
Exactly.
melee because of that teleporting factor, because you don't want to obviously kill him, and he kills you before you get to the light post, but just make him do less
Alexa, shut off.
damage.
Oh my god. Alexa, shut off.
But just like make it so like you can hold him on your head, because I think he had like the Black Ops 3 kind of like melee damage, like where you're able to
Like
take three
early.
hits and then you die.
hmm
I think he was kind of like the enemy that kind of introduced that health factor, like kind of damage sense. So,
Yeah. You mean what, the Avogadro
huh?
from Transit?
No, 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 no. Like I'm meaning like the dentist couldn't kill you in like 2 hits like every other zombie could. He had to hit you like 2 or 3 times.
Oh
Like he had to hit
yeah.
you like 3 or 4 times.
It had to hit you a whole
Yeah.
bunch before it could down you. Yeah. And also it like scratched your eyes
Mm-hmm.
out. I was like, why are you scratching my eyes out? I can already not fucking see. Like,
I don't need your
like
creepy
it's
ass hands
hurting
all over
my
my fucking eyeballs, bro. Get out of here.
yeah, right? I don't know. Like, what the fuck else? Like the Avogadro was cool. Um, the only thing is I mean, like what connects the Avogadro with Transit is Alpha and Omega.
Mm-hmm.
That literally, like technically, they're saying Alpha and Omega takes place obviously before Transit, because you fight the Avogadro, you shove it into the machine, and then it gets sent to the Green Run area, and then obviously the Avogadro comes out of the power when when you turn the power on or
Yeah, because
whatever.
we don't know it's there, and then we turn the power on. We're greeted with him. So
and you still don't even like. And then I mean, yeah, it's used to continue like, well, at least with the Easter egg. Like I mean, if I think if there is a way to deal with the denizens easier, people would do the Easter egg more. If there was a way, or even if because the jet because you can build the jet gun, that's fine. I don't care about building the wonder weapon.
Hmm.
I think it's just the simple fact about I have to build it every single time it breaks. And that's almost every single use
Yeah,
for
I
it,
never was a
you
big
know?
fan of the jet gun.
So
I thought that gun was kind of meh.
that's what I'm saying. But like it was like if you could use it endlessly, for example, or at least if it had a limit on ammo, quote
Hmm.
unquote, like like the black hole gun, the apothecary servant from Shadows,
Yeah.
right? It could literally be one of the best quote unquote wonder weapons as far as map wise. It was a very cool concept as far as a wonder weapon. It's just literally the simple fact that because you have to build it multiple times if you want to use it. Like if you use it on a horde, it could take out a horde
Hmm.
pretty fast, you know. But the thing is it breaks after you use it, or it like overheats and
Honestly,
then it
the
fucking
I
breaks.
would say
And
the
then
jet
you have
gun
to
is
build it more.
basically the die machine, but the die machine is a more futuristic version.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people were comparing it to when it got released. People were like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be the jet gun but better," and it's
It
basically just what
basically
it is.
is. Um,
It's a jet gun.
also,
Like,
I want to mention another thing about Black Ops 2, and mainly the reason why I like a lot of the Black Ops 2 maps are a little higher. Personally, I think that Black Ops 2 did a really interesting thing, and is why like I think that Black Ops 2 Zombies is probably always going to be my favorite until another map does this. But unless maybe other maps did this, but there's so many like
mm,
mini little Easter eggs in Black Ops 2 that like are still
mhm,
being like that were still being found years after like the game came out. Like it took people a while to find out like the fact that you if you got a certain amount of headshots with a sniper, you were able to get like 20 like it would gave you like 200 points over and over and over again. Or like on Buried,
mhm.
you could get PhD Flopper without even needing the perk. You just kept falling down the stairs over and over again until you got it. Like there's just
Yeah,
so
those
many
are
little like little mini
yeah.
things that we found that it was so interesting. And I haven't really seen any of these other CODs, like other these zombies maps, do that. At least I don't
Exactly.
know they
Yeah,
have.
I can
So
understand. I can understand that. I mean, there are maps that do certain stuff like that. You know, it's not. I don't think it's as efficient or as
mm,
common as they did. You know, like I mean, those weren't considered. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, well, like you could compare it to Shadows, but I mean, you really can't because the egg steps and shit like that. That's not little. They're not little things. They're optional.
yeah.
They're considered still optional, but they're still technically part of the Easter egg. Like the 2020 or 200 thing or whatever the fuck.
Well,
Like that's not part of the Easter egg. It's not something you have to do. It's something you can do, and it rewards you for doing
exactly.
it. You know.
I would say a
So.
better way than saying like a little like I guess a better way to explain it is like instead of like saying little things, I would say like these are like more hidden things unlike other game like the more newer games now that kind of just like
Mm,
show like all like the little things now are basically like just shown to you. You don't have to like go out of your way and find it and you don't accidentally find it. Like back in Black Ops 2, like sitting there playing around with like the DSR and just getting so many like long shot kills, like long shot headshot kills, and then just magically seeing, like I'm getting a bunch of points. Why am I getting these points? Why is this happening? And just
mhm.
magically finding this and like kind of being accomplished that you're finding these little mini Easter eggs without the game just telling you that it's there is kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Um,
that's understandable.
so
That makes that makes sense. I mean, farm is just it's
yeah,
farm. You know, it's just a simple like survival map. It's like it's like Shino Numa. You know, it's like it's just a simple survival map. It doesn't have pack a punch. It has perks.
mm,
You know, it's got the mystery box, shit like
yeah,
that. You know, it's just a simple nostalgia map. I mean, to be honest, I liked seeing it when I saw it in the Mori uh map. I thought it was really cool.
yeah.
I was like,
I
hey,
really
okay,
love
Lord Red.
seeing
Like,
it like
okay.
as a remastered kind of like and better lighting and everything.
Mhm.
It was kind of nice to be in.
Yeah,
Um,
it really was.
I
Revelations. I mean, oh no, go
I
ahead. My
do
bad.
like
What
I
were you
was gonna about to talk about Revelations anyway, but
Okay.
I wish I played Revelations more. For the time being of when I played it, it was very good. I did the EE once. Personally, I really enjoyed the Revelations EE. It was actually not bad. Um, I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do remember the cutscene and everything. I know I and honestly, just tying all the story, like the story, like honestly, COD, I'll give it to them. Like they're really good at telling story, and like tying these stories
Oh
up,
yeah.
and like it's very good. Um,
Mhm.
but honestly, I really do wish that I played Revelations more. I'm honestly still tempted to go out of my way and go buy Revelations for BO3, honestly, because it's just such a good map.
Yeah. Mhm.
There's like new
I
little
feel you.
creatures that I've never seen before, and just like yeah, it has like a lot of like I say it a lot, like I don't like things that are very reused. But to be honest, the way that they
I mean,
did
they had
Revelations
little
was very
pieces of the
good.
different. They had yeah. I was gonna say they had like Noct was technically
Hmm.
there. I think there was a part of Alcatraz that was
Hmm.
there, but that's really all I
And that's
know. You know, I
yeah,
don't know much about.
there was a part of Erupt as well.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
but that's what I mean though. It's like I don't mind when maps like mate like I've talked about it before. Like I hate maps that reuse things, but if you do it well and you actually make it
Oh
good and
yeah,
viable, I am 100% down for it. But it's like I don't like games that reuse content and then just don't actually do anything with it. It's just a copy paste. Like they
yeah.
actually made it look different. They destroyed a lot of the buildings around it. They pasted all these
Mhm.
other things that actually tied into the story and the area that you were in. It was basically like a fractured world, and like the older maps of our fractured past was coming back into this universe that we were into. It was
Mhm.
really well made. So I wish that I could put it higher. It's just that I
Yeah.
literally only played it so little that I couldn't put it higher than other things.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I
I
played
feel
it a
you.
lot more, it'd be an A tier map. It's just I can't put it higher than other maps.
I can't put it
Yeah.
higher. Oh no, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, as far as anything, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. Should we talk about Shangri-La? Because I really don't know much about Shangri-La.
Yeah,
That's another thing
like
I haven't
honestly,
really
right now,
dived into.
like everything in my C, D, and F tier are maps that I really didn't play a lot of, uh, or just maps
Okay.
that like I played, like for instance, like D Machine. Like obviously, that we played
Yeah,
that
we
quite
played that.
often,
Yeah, yeah, we played that
but
a
it's
lot.
just
Yeah.
it's like more of maps that's like I don't see higher than anything above B tier or C tier.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like I kind of explained it a little bit. I mean, like we could just talk about what do you have? You have Alpha and Omega in there, D Machine, then Blood. I want to at least talk about Blood for me, at least. Like I mean, like D Machine, I prefer as far as anything because Blood's the highest. That's technically more your lowest in that
Hmm.
specific tier for you at least. For Blood for me, I liked because I loved Mob of the Dead.
Yeah.
Because I love Mob of the Dead. That's why it's so high. It's literally it's a remake and like a remaster because obviously the remastered part of the prison. I loved the simple fact that they made it bigger because I didn't not say that I felt Mob of the Dead was small, but it's a pretty decent sized map. But I think it was what for me Mob of the Dead or Mob just felt like it was more top down kind of map instead of more like long and
Yeah, I
wide
don't
like
know
the
what
other
it
maps
was
like
about Blood,
Shadows.
but
You know?
Blood was very well made. Like the EE was great. Everything was great about it.
It was
But
very
I just don't
good.
know. Like compare, like I
Yeah,
guess I just compared it to like Mob. Like I guess the nostalgia
yeah.
of Mob just stuck with me, and like seeing it as a remaster version, it just like I don't know. It didn't beat Mob for me. And it just didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel as good to me. Like, and also again, like I didn't
Gotcha.
play it
Yeah,
very much because
you didn't
again,
play it
like
that
I
much. Yeah.
wasn't that big of a fan compared to the other maps.
Mhm.
Like, cause like
Yeah.
for
I mean,
instance, like
it's
no
like
9 was the map I played. If I logged on to
mhm,
BO4, it was 9 I was playing.
it was
Yeah.
9. Yeah, I feel you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, I just liked the fact that they added. I talked about it a little bit before
Mhm.
too. I like the fact that they added another variant for the Blunder Gat, which is
Mhm.
the Magma Gat, which I
That was
thought
pretty
was
good.
fire. Uh, the like the quest that you had to do it, it wasn't difficult, but it became difficult because you had to stay in the warden's house in order to do it,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah,
had
doing the whole
to
like
just
fireplace thing.
walk from one thing all the way to spawn, basically, which I mean was like annoying, but at the same time it was kind of cool. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, what the hell was I thinking of? I mean, um, I loved the boss fight for it. The boss fight was kind of difficult, but I mean, it was really cool. You basically fought like a whole bunch of like regular wardens, and then you fought a mega one like every so many times. And then, I mean, the cutscene for it was phenomenal. I just like I kind of talked about it a little bit before, um, which literally the one step for the Easter egg, I hated it. The other steps I was fine with. They weren't as difficult, but they were difficult because like for example, the part that you had to do that made it super difficult and annoying was the simple fact that you if you were to play solo, you could do it solo. It just made it difficult and they made it harder for you if you were to do it solo.
Honestly, I like
Even in co-op, it almost was like difficult. You
mhm.
literally had to sit in the bottom power room and wait for lights to appear over 5 different like generators or whatever, and you had to hit them in the same exact order. If you fucked up, you had to skip around and do it again.
Yeah. See,
And
I
then
think Blood of the
I don't know
Dead,
if the order
I
changed, but
personally think that Blood of the
I can't remember.
Dead honestly like I feel like it's the same thing with like 9. Like if it wasn't a Black Ops 4 engine, I feel like it would be way better of a map.
You would get more. Oh yeah.
Like just
Mhm.
put it in like Black Ops
Yeah.
3 and it honestly I would have probably enjoyed it a lot more. Like not even just this like even
Mhm.
if like I didn't have gobblegums on that map, like I still like just having the Black Ops 3 engine itself, I feel like would
Yeah.
have been it would have felt so much nicer, especially with the guns.
Yeah.
Like the guns in Black Ops
Mhm.
4 is what made Black Ops 4 even shittier. Like to be honest, like a lot of those guns were not that great.
The guns were not that
No,
good.
comparing
Yeah.
to like Black Ops 3 and
Only
even Cold
things that I
War, like it
like.
there's not it.
Oh yeah, I love like my favorite thing obviously was literally like I think it's just like the system
Yeah.
that they had for it. Literally, yeah, we talked about it before. The strongest weapon in that game, even it beat well. I mean, if you don't count wonder weapons,
Mhm.
the strongest weapon in that game was the rocket launcher. It makes sense, but at the same time, no.
It's like why?
Like, if I want to sit here and do a boss fight, why do I have to sit here and take a fucking rocket launcher? I don't want to do that.
Yeah, let me take a
But
rocket
it's
launcher while fighting
annoying
a
as
boss
shit.
while also having zombies surrounding me. But like all the other guns are
Not
shit,
having a
and
perk,
like I'm gonna use this
yeah. Also,
one
not having a
fucking
perk
rocket
that
launcher.
helps you with explosive damage. Yeah. As soon as they added the explosive damage perk, you could. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's because you had it was a box weapon. It was the best gun in the game. Literally, like the second best gun in the game, or probably not second best, but the Strife was like up there, was like top 10. The Mog, which was literally just like the sawed off shotgun technically, was one of the better ones too, because they had, the like the attachments that you could add to it or
Yeah.
whatever, like you can have it have like fire rounds or some shit like
Hmm.
that, and it made it really cool. It was interesting, it was cool, I liked it, it was fun. And that was my favorite. My loadout, if I played 9, was always the Mog and the Strife. And because they were both wall weapons, I didn't have to fucking worry about a box weapon.
Mog was the revolver,
Because
right?
no, no,
What
no,
was
no.
the
The Mog
revolver?
was it was the revolver was the Welling. The Welling is
No,
trash.
no, 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 no,
The
no, no,
Welling
no,
is what we
no, no, no,
had in
no.
which
The other
uh
there was another
the
revolver.
the Mozu.
Yeah, the Mozu. Thank you. Yeah, that was lit. That was a
Mm-hmm.
good gun. If you put
The
Skull Splitter
Mozu,
with that,
yeah. If you put the skull splitter on it, the Mozu was
yeah,
really
you could
good.
literally
One
two
hundred.
tap the fucking you could two tap headshot the gladiators.
Yeah, you could complete the boss fight for 9 faster
Yep.
too.
That gun was like it
Plus,
was that gun and the
yeah,
stripe
I
for
don't
me
know why.
or the the shoddy, like the
It sucks. It sucks.
Mogu.
The Mog was fucking they nerfed it at one point, and I was fucking pissed. I was like, why the fuck? I was like, why did they nerf this gun? I was like, this gun did not need to be nerfed. Why is it nerfed?
Yeah,
They had no reason to nerf it. I guess it was because it was too good in every other mode, so it got nerfed for zombies too. I said, why can't you just leave it for zombies? It's perfectly fine in zombies. And I was pissed off about it. But the Strife was still literally the best one in the game, so it was fine.
yeah,
Um I mean, that's one of the reasons why 9 is up there for me as far as like S tier compared to yours. The boss fight was good. The Easter egg was fun to do. Um the challenges that you could do in 9 to get like an extra perk, a self res, shit like that. Like that it just like 9 was like very, at least for Black Ops 4 or even just zombies in general. It was kind of like different and it was innovative, I guess you could say. You know, I mean, as far as, like the I was going to say field upgrades like a dumbass. Well, technically they are field upgrades, but the specialist weapons,
yep,
that's what they were called. Um they were essentially like a get out of jail free card no matter what. Like if you were playing solo, you got trapped in a corner, you could literally pop it and everything around you fucking disappeared.
yeah.
And
Dude,
then you
Scepter
could
of
use
Ra
it
was
and
fucking broken.
oh,
That
100%. I
thing
love
is
that.
fucking broken.
I found out on it was only a glitch on controller that you could do. I wasn't able to do it on PC, but you could do it
Oh,
on
I had no
controller.
idea how to glitch.
You could Yeah, there is essentially was a glitch. If you were in the levels between 1 and 2, you could quick melee with it.
mm.
So you could literally, so like there was a way for you to essentially like ADS kind of with it and then shoot the beam, but
Um,
it would do like a quick animation for a melee.
yeah,
It would
see,
do like a
I
double
always got it to
melee.
level 3 because if I was playing with
Yeah,
anybody, I mean, even if I was solo, I'm running it. But if like I was
it's so
always playing with somebody, I'm always running that because like, oh, you went down, let me
mhm.
just I just like I would slap the Scepter Raw down and fuck
Let me
off.
beam you with that. Yeah,
I would literally leave.
exactly.
I'm
Yep.
like, here, have
Not
this. You get
only yeah, they get
revived. Have a slow field. I'm gone. See you later.
mhm, exactly. That was, I mean, that's what I did kind of for like high round
Mm-hmm.
strats, especially on 9.
That thing was
But like
broken.
literally on console, you can basically do like well, your Xbox, so they consider them bumpers. But basically, L2 and R2, if you like did them simultaneously, like double tapped
Mm.
it, it did a double melee from if you're in levels 1 and 2 instead of just doing the regular one stab melee, and it's like it took a super long time.
Ah.
But if you literally just did it, it was like a super quick melee. I found that I literally saw it from like a YouTuber. He said it. I was like, oh shit. And then every single time I used it, I always did that because it was super broken to do. I'm pretty sure you could still do it. I don't think they changed that, but that's really
Probably
cool if
not
they
knowing
didn't.
them, but Black Ops 4 was just such a shitty like Black Ops like it was just such a zombie shitty experience that like nobody cared.
Mhm.
Nobody fucking cared. Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
if
very
there
much
was a
didn't.
glitch in there, nobody
And I
gave a
mean,
fucking shit because nobody was playing their damn maps.
the, like the bet basically, if you were to consider the best like field best specialist weapons, technically it was the hammer, which was basically like Mjolnir,
Uh-huh.
uh or it was the sword or Takio's sword, basically. Takio's sword, once you leveled it up all the way, you literally got a free fucking like zombie blood, and then its second ability, you can literally just get a very long ass dash. Like I remember when people were trying to speed run fucking Blood of the Dead just by using the sword. And it's literally just because of the like because of that one specific Easter egg step that fucked a lot of people up because like once you got closer to the end of that step, like before it's like the second to last one, it starts to spawn more zombies. So it's supposed to fuck you up so you mess up,
Yeah.
but the thing is if you literally mess up, you have to start all over again, which I don't like. I didn't like that step. And it's like if you're like shit, I fucking forgot, and it gives you like an error stating you need to do it again. And because all the challenges were different, you had to go to another challenge, the challenge randomized again, so that's like the one thing that like I think Blood of the Dead could be an S tier map if it wasn't on BO4 engine, if it wasn't on or if it didn't have that specific. I mean, if it had that specific step, but it didn't make it as difficult. Like I liked that you had, or I didn't even really like that part either. You had to literally shock a ghost
Mm.
at those symbols in order for it to pull a lever down, and then you get like a little orb that you put on the map. Like I love doing the Easter egg because it was probably the second most fun to do as far
Like
as Black Ops or
honestly, like
BO4.
even
But
even if we had like personally, like I think even if Mob got a simple upgrade of like how Blood is, like if Blood was like Mob, like we got the Blood map, but for Mob, I feel like Mob would be even
mhm.
better. Like honestly,
Oh, I think if you had the Magmagat upgrade in Mob, if you had how big it was in
like
Mob,
don't
if
change
you
the Easter
had
egg, but like just having like the Warden's house and having more areas to explore, I feel like would have been like
yeah,
even better.
mhm,
But like
yep,
just Mob is even just how Mob is, it's just mwah, it's too good, man.
it's really good. Yeah, it really is. It is like
Just
it's
like the
literally
tomahawk
like one of the
alone was a
perfect.
lot of fun to get, and like upgrading it was
Oh yeah,
fun, and
that's one of the other things in like it was the same obviously in Blood of the Dead, but the upgrade for it was completely different. I don't remember what you had to do for the. Oh no, you basically had to do something and then you had to be in afterlife mode to get the upgraded, Hell's Redeemer. Uh but in Black Ops 4, you basically had to get so many kills on a specific on like the bridge part of Blood of the Dead, and you would see the tomahawk turn blue. Once you see it turn blue, that's how you know you're getting the correct kills for it. Once it's finished, you'll hear like a wolf howl,
yep,
and then once it's a dog round, you have to go around the entire map, not a specific part of the map, but the entire map, and you have to just like look for or listen, and you'll hear like a wolf or a dog just like panting or walking around, and you'll hear it as far as like the afterlife mode in the shield. And then once you see the dog, you just zap it, and then you can go pick up the upgraded
yep.
one. I didn't like that because it could literally be anywhere on the map, any
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
where,
pretty
and that's the
sure
thing.
like the Mob of the Dead, like wasn't it like you just axed a couple skulls around the map or something?
No, I think for no, that was for the Blundergat, for like the free Blundergat. You had to throw the tomahawk at different skulls, and then you could get like a free Blundergat. That stayed. I know that stayed in Blood of the Dead too. But other than that, I don't
Well, I
think
think was
anything else
Mob,
changed.
no, so then Mob was the one that you also had, like you had to get kill, like you had just to get kills within an upgrade, right? You just didn't have to do the whole
I
dog
can't
shit.
remember what it was. Can't remember what it was for the. I know you had to throw it into the weird fire pit at the bottom, and then it like disappeared from your inventory, and you had to either wait a couple rounds or you had to do something else. I can't remember what you were supposed to do to get the upgraded version. To be honest, I really don't remember. To be honest, I really don't.
Nah, I don't remember. I'm trying to
But
like think, and
yeah,
I can't think
but
of it.
yeah, I mean, as far as anything, it's definitely well, it's not my favorite from BO4, but it's one of my favorites from BO4.
Mm,
So it's at least top three from BO4. So that's kind of why it's up there for me. We still at? Are we at C? No, we're technically in D
yeah,
now.
because I mean,
Uh,
there's nothing
I
really to
mean,
talk about but bus. So
Nuketown Zombies. Mine was higher than yours, only just because I think it's just nostalgia. It's Nuketown,
yeah,
you know. It was actually like pretty difficult to do if
honestly, it was a really
you
fun map. But
um
the only reason I put it at
yeah
D is because
yeah
it's just Nuketown, but with zombies. That's literally all it is.
yeah that's true
So
that's true.
like I'm still gonna put it above like all these
Um,
other maps because I played Nuketown Zombies way fucking more. And personally, like I
oh
still
yeah.
find Nuketown Zombie, like if I had to pick Nuketown Zombies over any of these other maps in D tier, I'm picking Nuketown Zombies. I don't give a fuck. Mainly because I just like some of these I haven't played or just some of these aren't really that
Mhm.
good. So
True, I got
at
you.
least to me.
So I mean, definitely a complete difference is literally, I mean, Ancient Evil for me because Ancient Evil is definitely my favorite map from
Ancient
BO4.
Evil, I will
Even with
admit,
the
was pretty
shitty,
good.
e- even with the shitty engine, the Easter egg was pretty fun to do. The boss fight for Ancient Evil was really fun. It was interesting to do. It kind of sucked because it was hard, but it was still fun to do. Um, the other area, I guess, and I kind of just liked how it was literally like based off of just, I guess, what the fuck is it? Technically, like the different
Yeah, it
gods or
was like the
Greek gods
Roman
or whatever the fuck.
gods.
It's basically based off of. That was really cool. I liked that, and it was just very different. And I liked the gauntlets because it reminded me of DE. Just the gauntlets, I don't think were as OP as they were in DE. You know, like the ones in DE, I think are better, obviously, but um I mean, I put Ancient Evil above Mob of the Dead because I played Ancient Evil more than Mob of the Dead. Um, but like Ancient Evil, like the gauntlets were fun. You had to do like you could upgrade all of them. They had like an upgraded version, just like what the fuck is like in Origins how the staves had upgrades.
Mm,
So it was like Ancient Evil for like as far as anything, if you were to compare anything, like Ancient Evil was one of the very good maps that they did that's comparable for me at least to Origins and DE as far as anything. The Easter egg steps probably weren't as good or as fun, um, but they were still pretty fun and pretty good to do. You know, they weren't like super horrible. Only thing is like with Origins, you had to upgrade all of the gauntlets in order to like do certain pieces of the Easter egg.
yeah,
But
I probably played Ancient Evil maybe twice.
bro, it was my favorite. I liked how it had the challenges just like 9 did too a little bit. So you could get like a free papped weapon. You could kind of cheat the system to where you can literally stay in the area just like you could do for I think it was 9 too. You could basically just like cheat
Hmm.
it essentially.
Yeah,
It
I
was pretty
think
cool.
like honestly, like it's like I probably would have played a lot of these maps more, but again, like it's just because it's the Black Ops 4 like game, like it's just
Engine.
Black Ops 4 itself, like it's just I don't know, it just Black Ops 4 just kept throwing
No,
me off and just made me not want to play the game. Like I just didn't care. Like
mhm.
9 was like the only map that like made me want to play. Like I just didn't really like give the other maps really a try. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
like even if they were
I
really
mean,
good, like I just
yeah.
was like, nah, I'm just don't care.
I don't blame you. Yeah. I mean, um what else? I mean, which one should we talk about? I mean, as far as okay, Forsaken. I mean, I think we kind of have the understanding of why that's probably in your D tier as far as
Hmm.
anything. I mean, mine was higher, but it's because I actually liked it, and I think it was because of the Easter egg and the boss fight and the story. That's why I have mine up so high.
Mhm.
Um, Also because it's Cold War's engine. The Wonder Weapon is really cool. It's fun to use. The Easter egg was actually pretty easy. Like it didn't have it like the steps weren't difficult to do. Like once you knew what you were supposed to do, they were super simple to do. They weren't super difficult or anything. So I mean, out of all the Cold War Easter eggs, I personally think Forsaken was the easiest, even comparing it to D Machine as far as anything.
Yeah, honestly, like the only
To
thing
be
that I
honest.
really liked out of Forsaken was the Wonder Weapon and the E. Other than that, like I didn't care for the map. I just
Yeah, it's just because of the this like it literally just because Forsaken was a for me a complete copy paste from the game.
yeah, like
That's why
that. That's why I didn't
love
like the map because I'm like, if it was
it.
literally anything else, like if it was any other map, like if they actually made something to it, it'd probably be way higher. Because honestly, like that the Wonder Weapon in that is probably again one of like in like the top 5, top 10 kind of area for Wonder Weapons because it's just such a really cool melee weapon. You're able to
It's
literally
also a
chuck
gold.
it, like you're able to like throw off like
It has
this whole
different
like
like attributes and shit like that.
you're
Yeah,
able to like shoot like the
different things
scythe
that
ability that
different
just
modes.
sits on the ground. You're able to melee the fuck out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I don't know, like it's just the map. The map itself is just I
Mm-hmm.
wish that the map itself was better. But EE was a lot of fun when we did it. Obviously, I only did it once, and then the Wonder
Yeah,
Weapon was
we
lit.
only did.
But
I think we only did one. I technically. Oh, I did everything. I technically did it twice because I did all of the Cold War EEs solo. The only one that took me the longest was Outbreak, but I don't think we need to talk about Outbreak at all. It just it was what it was. It was
see,
pretty
the only
interesting,
reason that Outbreak is
to
down there
play.
in D tier is because how many fucking glitches I ran into in that goddamn thing. Did you ever did I ever tell you about like the sideways parachute glitch? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that's why it's a fucking D tier. I wanted to put it in the F tier because of that shit. But I'm
Mhm.
like,
I don't blame you.
don't get me wrong, Outbreak was a lot of fun playing with friends. Playing it by yourself kind of sucks. Um, Personally, from my
Playing it by
experience,
yourself is not as fun as playing with
yeah.
other people.
When I started playing it with you, and I had I was playing it with siblings and just other friends. It was actually a lot of fun
Mhm.
playing it. We had a good time. But personally,
Mhm.
Outbreak for what it is not that great. It's not what zombies is. It's not what zombies will ever fucking be. I'm sorry. I'm glad that they tried something new,
You
but
want to
it's
tell
just
that to
not what it's gonna
Vanguard?
be. It's just not it.
You want to tell that to Vanguard?
No, dude, Vanguard is a fucking joke and a half, and we don't need to talk about that game.
It's a
That
dumpster
game is a
fire.
full-on joke, and nobody needs to talk about it. That I don't see that as a game. I'm sorry. What is
um,
Vanguard?
fire. Yeah, true, true. Firebase.
Uh-huh.
Where I put mine at? I put mine at A just because the EE was fun, the Wonder Weapon's cool, story mode is cool. The fact that like Samantha was in it, I also think the fact that that map was also more original, and we literally talked about it. I think it was literally like I think it was yesterday or a couple days
Yep.
before about how the spawn is part of a campaign mission that you can remember it, but it's also like kind of forgettable. Like you're in there for a certain part of the campaign mission, then you completely forget because of the other parts of
Yep.
that specific
You're in a
mission.
whole another
You
area,
just
which I thought was
remember
pretty
it.
cool.
You're in a whole other area. So, and then the fact that you literally just you're there for Pack a Punch to speak to Ravenoff and to get like a specific part for the Easter egg, and then it's literally a completely new area that seems brand fucking new. That's big as shit. That you don't need to leave
See, the thing
unless
is,
you're doing the Easter egg for Pack a Punch.
personally, like I don't think we ever did Firebase Z Easter egg, or I don't remember if we did or not.
I don't think we did it. We didn't do it together. No, I did it solo. It was
Yeah, I
difficult
don't
solo
remember if
just
we did
because of
it.
the one
I did try to do
one
it
part.
like I did try to do it by myself. I got to the mimic part where you have to
The
like
Saturday
capture the
part.
mimics. Fucking
Oh, that
stupidest part
yeah.
I've ever fucking done of an EE in my life.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
The fact that
Yeah.
you
I
have to
don't like that
capture
part
them in a
neither.
specific spot, and the fact that like even if you capture it in that specific spot and you
It
put it
might
in
not
there
be
and
the
it's like
right one. Yeah,
wrong memory. Like what the fuck you
still
mean?
dumb.
Like, and I'll put like I put like if I remember correctly, I put like 13 in one at one time. Like I did it 13 times in one fucking round. And nope, wrong memory. Wrong memory. Wrong memory. Like the fuck you mean? Like I'm sitting there trying to figure this shit out and it's just like come on.
Yep.
Just give me the damn thing.
Hmm.
Like I'm still on the first memory. I'm still trying to find the first one. Like I can't even find
You're
I
still
still
trying
gotta
to
go find
figure
the
out
other
the first
two.
one. Yeah. Yep. Hmm.
Just give me the
I feel
first
you.
one, bitch. Like come on. And I just quit.
Give me
I
the
left.
first one, motherfucker.
I left.
I don't
I
blame
didn't
you.
even try to continue. I left. I literally
I don't
ended the
blame you.
game, shut the console off, and went to bed. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, that pissed me off, bro. But honestly, other than the EE,
Yeah.
the map was good. Other than Orda
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
EE, I love the map.
Orda, see that's what I'm saying. Like Orda in the survival part fucking sucks, but Orda as the
Hmm.
boss fight, I liked. I liked Orda as the boss fight. I did not like Orda as the random encounter, the third
Yeah,
encounter that you get. I fucking
especially when you
hated
get to
that.
like round like fucking 60, like you're
It's
trying to do a high
super
rounds, and you're on like round
yeah, if
60,
you're on like a super high round, it's
and his
very hard.
health
You
bar,
can't
like
kill him. You literally just
you
have to
might as well just
fucking
ignore
it
it.
doesn't go
His
down.
health bar is fucking
Yep.
like ridiculous. I'm sitting
At
there
that point,
using
you
like a
literally just
fully
ignore
packed
it.
Reiki, and it does like fuck all to him.
Nothing. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
huh, dude, that's crazy. I just emptied a
Even if
whole Reiki ammunition into him, and his health bar is still full. That's crazy.
mhm. Even if you're using ring of, I was gonna say even if you're
Ring of
using ring
Fire,
of
yeah.
fire,
Like, you
yeah,
could be popping Ring of Fire, and I could
mhm.
dump a whole gun into him, like the whole, all my ammo to that gun, and his health bar is still full. It's like, I'm just gonna leave. This is stupid.
I'm just gonna leave now.
Like, I don't care. I don't need fucking PAP. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about? I mean, I think Dead Ops Arcade is just more self-explanatory. It's literally just a
Yeah,
little
I didn't know
arcade
where to put
mode
Dead Ops. Like Dead Ops was
that
cool, but it's just like a little mini game. Like
Dead Ops. I was gonna say Dead Ops never like piqued my interest
no.
either. Like I played it like
Dead
once,
Ops
and then that's
1
it. I
piqued
never
my
touched it up
interest because I thought
again.
it was cool and it was something new. But then when it,
Mm-hmm.
Dead Ops 2 was pretty cool, especially when they added
And
the
then
whole
Dead
first
Ops
person
3.
camera was pretty cool. And then when it got
Yeah.
into Dead Ops 3, it was just dude, it was getting old.
Yeah, it's old at
Yeah,
that
like
point.
Dead Ops
People were
3
like,
was a
"Oh my
little
god,
like
yes, Dead
don't
Ops
get me
3,"
wrong,
and
Dead
like,
Ops 3 was
no.
cool because like they did try to add something new. We had to like find puzzles and like these dungeons and stuff. It was pretty cool, but as a
Mm-hmm.
whole, it's just the same fucking thing over and over again, and I just got sick of it. It was not enjoyable anymore. Like after Dead
Mm-hmm.
Ops 1, it was cool to play and enjoy, but we didn't need two other ones. We didn't need them.
Yeah, yeah, feel you. What else do we have? I mean, the one that's kind of the difference would be Voyage. I mean, I liked that Voyage was a Titanic map.
Hmm.
It was really cool that it was a Titanic map.
I
The
did
Wonder
like
Weapon,
Voyage.
which
It's
is
just
the Kraken, was fire. I really liked the Wonder Weapon. I liked that it was like it had elemental variants too. I liked that, even though the ice one was definitely the best one. Just like Origins, kind of. It's like it was kind of like it was similar-ish to, or at least the Wonder Weapon was like similar-ish to Origins. Um, but I mean, some people like they did not like it at all. But I mean, if you're gonna go for high rounds, you definitely use the Kraken. Like for a fact, you definitely use that goddamn. Just because of as far as like all the Wonder Weapons in BO4 for like the Chaos side, the Kraken has to be like up there
mhm.
only because if you don't count Ancient Evil, if you count the gauntlets as one tier by itself, I think it would be like the gauntlets. And then for me personally, I would do the Kraken. I wouldn't do the one like the nine. I didn't really like the nine Wonder Weapon, the Scorpion, like the electric Scorpion. Like it was
It was all
cool,
right.
but it was like it wasn't like as OP or like cool. It was like it was just like a shitty version of the Wonder Weapon to me. That's kind
Honestly,
of
it
what it
felt
was.
like it was a
Yeah.
shitty version of the Apothicon. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
that's what
A little bit.
like. That's pretty much what it
Yeah.
was. Like it was like a Wonderwall Apothicon kind of gun.
Mhm. Yeah. And I mean, I think where did I put mine at? I put mine at C, right? Yeah, I put mine at C. But it's literally just because like I liked doing certain parts of the Easter egg. It was very interesting. Um I liked the planet stuff. I know you hated the planet stuff. I liked the planet stuff only because it's like you have to shoot the planets and then you just collect it and then boom, that's what you're supposed to do. I was like, that's kind of like it's fucking cool. It's a really cool step. It was a fucking cool ass step. But it fucking sucked if you had to do that shit solo. Doing that shit solo is not fun because you have to wait for all the planets to light up and count it and then do this, that fucking bullshit. It sucked. It did, but hey, whatever. I don't really have much bad to say. I would just say Voyage for me is just like an average map experience. Same with like Alpha and Omega for
Yeah.
me. It was just like an average
Yeah, it
map
was like it
experience.
wasn't a bad map to like sit there and just
Mhm.
play and to enjoy, but like EE
Yeah,
wise and stuff like that, it's just like eh.
it was
Yeah, it was pretty
exactly.
mid.
Mm-hmm. And then I mean, we did Call of the Dead, but your Call of the Dead for you is at almost the very end, and mine is just like second in the D tier. I mean, Call of the Dead, there's not really much anything really like special about it.
No.
Um, it's like the wonder like there's what two Wonder Weapon or no, there's one Wonder Weapon in it, the Scavenger, and like it turns zombies to humans, and then that's it,
Yeah.
and then it like stops working after a while. And then there's an EE for it, but it's not that like
Yeah,
interesting.
personally,
Like
I
I
was
mean,
a
the
little
only
tempted to put Call of the Dead in fucking F tier because I don't like the map. I personally don't.
yeah, I
Like
feel you.
don't get me wrong, I like
I
Tag
mean, I think
Durantoten
the
a little bit more than
foundation
Call
stuff.
of the Dead. Um
Really, you know, it's funny you put it
I
below it though.
know,
You
like
put tag
I was kind of torn
on.
between I hate them both. But like I was kind of torn. I'm like I like Tag Durantoten a little bit more. Mainly because I was like because you don't have that big fucking dickhead following around like Call of the Dead does.
Oh, you mean George?
Yeah.
I like George. George was literally the first version of the
He
Warden
can suck a fucking fat
because
cock. Fuck that guy.
he literally he doesn't fuck with you. unless you get close to him or unless you shoot him. You shoot him,
Oh,
he
he fucking
fucking
books
books
it
it.
at you, bro.
He
I remember
fucking
playing that
runs
map
at
for the
you.
first, like, playing Call of Dead for the first time ever. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm lighting him up in my 1911. He's just charges at me. I'm like, okay. All
Sure.
right, guess what, guys? We're not gonna shoot him. Don't do that.
We're fucking dead.
We're just
That's
gonna,
exactly
just
what it is.
let's not do that again.
Yeah, right?
Um, Honestly, it took me a little bit to remind myself like what all the AW maps were, like infection and carrier, because I like how like on this on this page it says like AW outbreaks. I knew it was advanced warfare, and then it was carrier. I knew what carrier was, and I couldn't remember what descent or infection was until I heard you talking
Descent.
about them. And infection, Burger Town, descent was the underwater one. I had to
Yeah.
look it up. I was like, oh yeah, now I remember
Yeah.
it. I fucking hate
Yeah.
infection. I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I don't.
A
I
lot of
did
people
not
didn't
enjoy
like
that one.
infection. Yeah. A lot of people didn't like
I
infection
was
either.
actually kind of
I'm not
surprised
gonna
that
lie.
the survival zombie one wasn't in here. Because that was technically a zombie map on its own. But not really.
Which one?
In
Which one?
Advanced Warfare, when you were playing the survival mode, you could actually there was like some little mini Easter egg where you were able to play a zombie mode. You could change them all into zombies, and you had like this little cool cutscene and everything.
Oh.
It was what it
Oh,
was
that's
like.
cool.
It basically that came before Outbreak. It's what they used to
Oh, okay.
tease their zombies for AW, because
Oh, okay.
AW
All
didn't
right.
come out with zombies for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
true.
and then because they
Because
had
I
the Modern
remember
Warfare 3 like
AW.
survival.
Yeah, AW. You literally had to you had to buy it
Mm-hmm.
in order to
Yep.
play it. It was like
You
its
had
own
multiplayer,
DLC.
the
Yeah.
campaign, and
Yeah,
survival.
multiplayer campaign
And then
survival. Yeah.
survival came out with like you played on the prison map, literally Outbreak. You played, well, it was like it was only like the prison cell area. And you were playing survival, and I think once you got like when you were like if you finished the survival, because I don't remember what the max wave was that you survived to, it was like 10 or 20 or whatever.
Mhm.
You were
Yeah.
able to start like some like cutscene or whatever. I don't remember how exactly you did it, but it would play a cutscene where you're like running away from a zombie horde, and you get into a helicopter, and you're talking to a guy, and zombies jump on you, and you land into the prison. That's why there's the helicopter that flies in on the cutscene on Outbreak. That would be technically
Mhm.
you from the survival. Um,
Yeah. That makes sense.
so
Okay. Yeah.
that's how it kind of plays out, and you realize that's why it's called Outbreak, because it's an outbreak of zombies, and then
Yeah.
So I thought that
That
was
makes sense.
cool, and I'm surprised it wasn't on the list
I
because
thought it was also.
technically
I was
it's a
gonna say. I
zombie
thought it
map,
was
but not
also
really.
cool. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say. I think. AW was a little like it was cool. One of the cooler sides because all of the characters I guess were like was more of like a celebrity cast. So you know how like Treyarch had the special celebrity cast
Mm-hmm.
ones like Shadows of Evil, Call of the Dead, Dead of the Night type shit.
Yeah.
Like all of those were just they were like the celebrity appearance maps.
Yeah.
And the whole entire storyline was technically like a celeb, more or less like a celebrity cast. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like Deckard or whatever was the dude from fuck it, what the fuck's his name? Sean from I think The Walking Dead, and then Oz is like I don't know if did you see the movie Bird Box?
No.
I don't know if you did or not. Okay, never mind then. He's in a couple other movies. I can't pinpoint what, but I know he was in Bird. But that was like the most recent movie I've seen him in. But I know he was in that movie. Let me see. I mean, I like as far as everything. Where the fuck did I put Outbreak? I don't remember. Outbreak was really good. It wasn't horrible. Um, where the fuck did I put it? Oh my god, I can't find it now.
Yeah, I was
Hold on.
torn between Outbreak and Carrier
Oh
because
right,
I
I put
really
it.
like those were probably my two favorite AW
Mhm.
maps.
I I like Descent, even though I only played Descent like a couple
Mm-hmm.
times.
Same.
Descent was still like really
Oh, it
cool
was a good map.
because it was just an underwater map. And then I know one of the Easter egg uh steps was literally um you have to like get into this like the big ass Titan and go underwater and pick up a piece in the water. Like that shit was cool as
I'm
fuck.
pretty sure I did the
I was like,
Carrier
hey, that's
EE. I
why.
think I did that with my sibling once. I don't remember if I completed it or not, but I think I did try to do it at least. Because my whole
I don't think I
AW
completed
experience, like
any.
playing all
Yeah,
those
I
maps,
don't think I
was
completed any of them.
playing on the PlayStation and playing with my sibling because he was the one that bought it and everything, and we just played it together. Or
Mm,
no, like I don't think it was. I think it was on his. I don't remember. It was either on Xbox on his
something. Yeah.
console or it was on PlayStation, and we just I don't remember though.
I just put I think I mainly put Descent so high just because it was probably out of all of the other maps, it's like one of the maps that's like literally technically like takes place in like underwater type
Hmm.
shit, and it was pretty cool. So it was different.
Yeah.
I thought it was different, so that's kind of why I put it so high. I mean,
I did like some of the
uh,
weapons from AW
mhm,
though. Like I really like that starter
yeah,
pistol. That starter pistol was a lot of fun to use.
the starter pistol was really cool. It was very interesting, to
It
be
was just
honest.
fun to, it was very nice and fluent to use. I just didn't like the
Yeah.
whole I didn't like the whole like exoskeletons. I just don't. And the whole pack a punch system in that
Oh yeah.
game also I hated.
Well, I mean, it was a pack a punch system, but it wasn't like a pack a punch.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was an
like an
upgrade system. It
upgrade.
was
It was
basically
a
just an
constant
upgrade
upgrade
station.
system. Yeah, it was an upgrade station that you use multiple
Yeah, like
times,
you could
and it
upgrade the
changed. I
gun to
mean, I
like
like that.
20 times. It was like, ah, dude,
Yeah,
it was so
it was
ass.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, do we have to talk about Togger Totem? Or you think we
No,
should?
not
Or do you
really.
think
I
we should
mean, it's
skip over
basically
it?
just Call of the Dead, but with fucking Rustman and all them. So,
Yep. It's got them in it. It's got a sniper
which was
uh
nice to see those characters again.
Wonderwall.
Obviously,
Is it Wonderwall? Yeah, it really was. I don't like how they just like because of the way that the story ended, they just kind of fucking died and they disappeared, quote unquote,
yeah. How
into the
dare
dark
you get
ether,
rid of
and
Misty's
boom, that's
titties?
it.
Like, what the fuck?
Like
Kidding.
you get rid of Misty's titty.
No, no,
Okay.
I joke. But no, like I will say though, like yeah, I do agree that they kind of just like disappeared from transit and then just magically appeared. In was what was it? Was it the Blood of the Dead that we saw them for a little bit, or
They were in Blood of the
and then
Dead.
they were in
They were in
Tagger
Blood of the
Toten,
Dead.
like we unlocked them from that said. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was Blood of the Dead. They were in that basement, and then Tagger and Toten, they came out of that
That
basement
was part.
and then went to like some
Yeah, if you
portal
don't
and then ended up in
I was gonna say if
Call
you
of the
don't
Dead.
know the backstory behind it, because like I watched like the whole fucking backstory on like the zombie storyline and shit. So apparently in the comics that they released, I guess they released like comic
Didn't know they
versions and
had
stuff.
comics.
So yeah, I know, crazy, right? So apparently in one of the versions of I think it's like it is a specific part that's in between buried and I guess blood, some shit.
Hmm.
The original or what was originally supposed to happen is obviously blood because they considered and they got there late as far as storyline wise. Um Instead of on time. They meet the other Richtofen, he gives the blood vials, and then he says, "Oh, the book changed. The story changed. It's not the same anymore." But because blood technically takes place, I think it takes place right before Zetsubo. Blood takes place right before Zetsubo, as far as storyline wise. So Blood technically doesn't happen in BO3 storyline, but it happens in the newer storyline to where Nikolai takes
Well,
over
yeah,
and
because
finishes
isn't
everything.
it isn't Setsupo the one where like they're finishing their whole like Richtoven's finishing his whole like plan with killing
No,
all their prior selves or whatever?
that's technically Gorod. Gorod is like the last one because Richtofen in the Giant, at least the cutscene, it looks like he killed himself and it looks like he's sucking the soul up, but he doesn't. He actually apparently went back by himself during the 2 year break from Origins to the Giant. He went back in time and killed a innocent younger version, or like kid version of himself, and put that soul into the summoning key. Apparently, and that was like right after I guess he stole it from Shadows of Evil.
Mm-mm.
And then that's when after that, then they go after
Oh, so
Dempsey,
that's why he
Nikolai.
grabbed the fucking summoning key from. Okay.
Yeah, yep, because of all the things, and then
Dude, Richtofen is probably
they
one of my
basically
favorite on it. Like the more that we talk about it, like the Richtofen becomes like my like between Dempsey and Richtofen. Richtofen's probably one of my favorite characters, mainly because of just how mysterious he is and just like he knows everything, and he's just doing like all these different things in different realities and shit. Like it's just kind of cool. Like I don't know why, but it just is to me at least.
That's crazy. I mean, as far as anything, it's just um like I don't know, just the storyline. Like I said, I love the storyline for BO4 and even like Cold War. It was Cold War was a different turn, but I liked it from BO4. Like only thing that like pissed a lot of people off was how Alpha and Omega was under budgeted because of Cold War, and they didn't have any CGI cutscenes. But they already had CGI cutscenes for Ancient Evil and Nine and Voyage and shit like that,
Uh huh.
which was interesting. And I mean, even the story behind like if they didn't make Cold War, if they literally left it and ended it like that, if they didn't start the whole Dark Ether storyline or whatever, if they just continued Chaos, I would have been fine with it because I didn't hate the Chaos characters. Even though I think it was because it was different. It wasn't like, oh, you know, a weird alien element caused zombies, basically, right? It was just something completely different. It was like an artifact that turned people into zombies, and it was like a whole weird underground conspiracy type of shit,
Mm.
which was interesting. It was different, but mm, see. What else do we have? Oh, you. I mean, well, you have Zetsuba. I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
think we
know
need
if
to
you
talk
want
about
to
that
go
map.
over
That
that.
map's ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we need
That
to talk
map
about that.
ass.
Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night is also ass. Um, as far as like maps that I would prefer to play, which is kind of why it's in my D tier and not anywhere lower, is literally just because I played it a decent amount when it came out, you know, and I actually I like the aesthetic of the map. I like how it's like weird, you know, um like cryptid kind of shit. Like there's werewolves, there's vampire type shit, you know.
Mm.
Like cuz I'm into like that shit's kind of cool, you know, fictional shit, but because it was interesting and the map itself was like it looked good, it looked really nice. The Easter egg, at least stepwise, and trying to figure out like where parts were and for certain other steps and shit like that was very difficult because like you needed to count like scratch marks and that went for another piece of the step. You needed this and it was just like a whole bunch of like if you think essentially Origins RNG sucks, um Dead of the Nights is 10 times worse basically.
Yeah.
Like RNG for Dead of the Night is horrible.
Between Dead of the Night and Rave in the wood in the redwoods, like between those
I
two,
never even
like
touched that one.
I barely played either of them. Like honestly, like
Mm-hmm.
Rave in the Woods is probably the one. Like the reason I put it at like the very bottom of F is because I literally played it for like 5 minutes, probably. Like I literally
Okay.
played it for like I played it for like 5 minutes and then didn't ever touch it again. Like
Okay.
Zombies in Spaceland, I actually did play a good amount. But in comparison to a lot of these, like I would rather like obviously I'd rather play Zetsubu than any of these three. But obviously between
Okay.
these
Yeah,
four,
that's understandable.
I would literally never pick these four over any of the maps between D to S ever.
Mm-hmm.
You will never see
I
me
get
playing
it.
these four maps.
Yeah.
And obviously like everything on my never to play is like a lot of like
It's just
USS Mount Olympus or like a lot of these maps I didn't even know fucking existed.
yeah. I mean, the ones that are in my F tier are technically die rise because of how I feel about the map. The Darkest Shore, the Frozen Dawn, the Tortured Path. Basically, it was the other the other shitty maps from World War II after the Final Reich.
Mhm.
Like, I don't understand how I don't want to sit here and say the Final Reich is a masterpiece because it's not, but it's
It's the best that they came out
really
with.
good. It's the best one that they came out with, and then they just went completely downhill. Like the very last one, which I think is technically the Shadowed Throne, I think, or no, the Frozen Dawn, or I think, yeah, the Frozen Dawn. Um, I believe was the very last one as far as anything, but The tortured path was just like really weird. It was mid. Like you had one area with characters that you were playing as, and then you completed those sets of Easter egg or steps of something. Then you do another part and another part and another part, and then like by the time I got to like the third or last piece that we had to do, I ended up fucking dying because of like the round base, and it fucking was annoying. But other than that, I mean, it was just really weird. The only other ones I want to talk about are technically Vanguard. I only want to talk about them because I put
Wait, what's
Vanguard at
that?
F because I
Get
hated it.
it?
Vanguard, Vanguard.
Wait, what? Wait, we have a
Um,
Vanguard game? Hello?
yeah, man, yeah, we
I didn't know
do.
that
It's not
existed. That's
good.
crazy.
It's not good, but it's there.
Mm.
It's there for nostalgia. No, I'm
Yeah, nostalgia my ass.
kidding.
Who the fuck will remember that?
Like I said, the only things that I like is that certain things they did change for the mode. Like if they kept it exactly the way that Cold War was, as far as like HUD wise and how the game played, and even if maybe Duran Fang was um a like if it was a survival map, even if you did teleport and that those were like parts of either the Easter egg or something like that, that would be cool. But because it's more or less Outbreak in a smaller scale, and every single piece that you're going to is different parts of either Duranfang or completely different areas, that don't necessarily matter, and you're just doing tasks to skip rounds to get points and shit like that. It was basically Outbreak just 10 times more, I think, annoying
Mm.
than anything because you can walk around the entire map in Outbreak and always be killing zombies, essentially. You could technically do that. You don't want to do that because it's not fun, but you can technically do that if you really wanted to. In Duranfang, you can't do that. You can kill like a certain amount of zombies in a specific area, and then that's kind of it. Like I liked the crafting system is better, 100%. Crafting system in Vanguard is better. The I like how you don't feel very OP from the start. I mean, the one thing that I liked about BO4 is that you had a very small selection of what weapons you could start with. As soon as Cold War came out, they kind of changed that. They said you could start with whatever the fuck you
Yeah,
want.
I always felt
Like
like
that's cool, but
weird about
it's
that.
super mid. That's what I'm saying. It's super weird. Like I mean, and then the fact that like obviously in Black Ops 4,
Mm.
it worked the same way Black Ops 3 did. You put attachments on the gun and it's on the gun. You go to the wall, you buy it,
And you
boom, the
have the attachments
attachments are
there.
there.
See, the one thing that I
Yeah, you
did
don't
like
have to
about
sit
Black
here
Ops
and go
4
into
and
a blueprint and fucking click on the
mhm,
blueprint and that's what the attachments
exactly.
would be and they would change to that. Like that I didn't really like that. Like that there's some of the things that Cold War I think would have did, and I don't even think Vanguard has that option to attach blueprints on it. So that kind of just went downhill
Yeah,
from
I will
there
say
as
one
far as that
thing
went.
that I will say about Black Ops 4 that I do personally I really like. I did like the fact that you could cuz you know how like Black Ops 2 it's a 2 hit down. Black Ops 3 3 hit down. Black Ops 4 I think is
Mm-hmm.
like it came out with a new option where you
Black
can
Ops 2 is
choose what
technically
way you want to play. Like you could play on a
you had
certain
custom. You
difficulty.
had you had a,
Yeah,
you had custom zombies basically. You could have max. You could have max health. You could
you could
have
go right back to Black Ops
shit.
2 kind of era where you're 2 tap and you're dead, 3 tap dead,
Mhm.
4 tap, 5 tap, 6 tap. Like you could play however the fuck you wanted.
Yeah, you could just customize
You
it
could customize how
then.
the zombies like
You could
react,
only
how
fight
their
mini
health.
bosses. Yeah,
Like I thought that was
just the
really
fact that
fucking
you can
cool.
make.
You can make your own
Oh
zombies
yeah,
experience.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I think that's what I think Black Ops 4's um
That's the
like
one thing I will say Black Ops 4 has over any of
comparison.
these CODs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the one thing that's like the comparison to technically like mods or modded
I will
maps
still
essentially. Like that's
I
the
will
only
still
thing that
say
they
I
compare
still
it.
don't understand why Black Ops 3 is the only one that we can have like
With modded maps.
mod maps
Yeah,
and everything else is just like eh. Like I get it with like Black Ops 1, 2, all the older ones, but like everything after Black Ops 3 is like why did we not do it again?
but I mean, you could technically add a mod menu to Black Ops 2 and Black Ops
Well,
1.
yeah, but
You technically, I think you can. You can download it. It's not.
modded
It's not like
maps.
implemented
Like
into the game. It's not connected to Steam to where you can just sit here and say, "Hey, someone made this. I'm gonna put it in the
yeah.
game." and boom, it's integrated into the game. Like just that system was really
Like
cool.
that's
That's
why
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
like
Like
I don't
people still
understand like why like I get it that we don't have it in 2 and like 1 because it wasn't like it wasn't in the game, like they never really had it in the game yet. But like Black Ops 3 had like
Mhm.
they Black Ops 3 themselves, like the creators themselves literally like gave us it as an option. But
Yeah.
why is it like Cold War didn't have it or World War II or like like the games that came after Black Ops 3? Like why didn't we get that option again?
It had it, yeah,
Like could
basically,
you
yeah.
imagine people
I got
making fucking like badass maps in World War II or Cold War?
Oh my god,
Like, could you
yeah.
imagine?
Oh
Like,
my
imagine. Okay, like Nightmare, for instance. Could you imagine a fucking game coming like that out of Nightmare, out of fucking World War II?
oh my
Like, just
god, that
having
would
that
be
style.
oh
Like, even he
my
basically made
god.
those type of zombies
Yes.
anyway.
That's essentially what
Yeah,
he did,
like
yeah.
he literally just took
That's
like the
essentially
World
what
War
they
II
did, yeah.
zombies, made them all like a fucking like if you took like a towel and like uh
He took a
if you
towel.
like took a towel and like wrapped it up, that's kind of what the zombies look like.
Yeah,
Look like a fucking standing
yeah, that's
noodle, pretty much. But like they had like all this like
standing
fleshy like skin like all torn off, and you can see like their rib cage and shit. It was like
you know what's
really
funny though?
gruesome.
They
But like
what's
that's what
funny is
zombies
they
is
were
supposed to
like
be. It's supposed to be like really gross and gruesome and terrifying. Like
mhm. The way that those zombies walked in Nightmare were the same exact way that some of the skeleton zombies walked from Black Ops
hmm
4.
well, see, this is the thing
Like
though.
I
It's
thought
like
that was
that's
so
what
cool.
zombies are supposed to be. They're supposed to kind of like dig into your
Be
fear
fucking
factor a little bit to kind of like make you hesitate of shooting because like you're overthinking shit and like you're terrified and you
yeah,
have all these thoughts running in your head because you have a fear
yeah,
going on. But like
yeah.
that's what I'm meaning, like in Cold War and like all these newer CODs, like especially with like Dead Ops for instance, like they don't look fucking scary. They're just
Mm,
the same shit over and over again. All they do now lately is just give them a different outfit and just change their eye color. That's all they're fucking doing anymore.
yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
that's why I kind
I
of
mean,
liked
even
AW
Origins
for a little
technically
while
kind of had.
because they wear
Yeah,
armor.
exactly. Yeah, AW was weird. They had
They
armor.
had
They could
jetpacks.
literally
They had the
they could
exoskeletons. They were
at you.
zombie
Yeah,
soldiers. They looked different.
yeah, exactly.
That's
I mean,
why
like
whenever
even
I see a new
Origins had
enemy, I'm
its
like,
own,
that's pretty fucking
you
cool.
know, like Origins even had like a weird, like kind of fearish
Yeah, you had
factor
the
to it. Like
Panzer.
certain corners, oh fuck yeah,
The
the
Panzer when
Panzer.
you like
Oh
imagine you don't
man,
even like because sometimes I know I
you
did
know
this.
nothing about
Like I
Origins.
wouldn't hear like I'd be playing music in the background like vibing doing high rounds and I wouldn't hear the siren go off and he just like
Freaking
I don't see him anywhere. I'm chilling, looking one way, and out of nowhere I get grabbed, and I'm just
what behind
flying
you.
away. I'm like, huh?
You're screaming. What
And
the
I'm like
fuck?
I'm trying to turn around before he fucking flames my ass.
Yeah,
So yeah, like
that's funny.
it was a really cool aspect, and like he was able to grab you from far away too. Like he would literally throw it over like a
Mm-hmm.
wall and grab your ass. At least back in the Black Ops 2. He doesn't do it in Black Ops 3 anymore, but I remember him doing that shit in Black Ops 2 version.
Black Ops 2, he can grab you from a really far
The
distance.
amount of times he like I would be over by like a footprint, he'd grab me from fucking
Terrifying.
like Gen 5. I'm like, excuse me?
Excuse me, bitch.
Like I'd be over by like church
And
like I'd
then
be
as
over by like church up there and I'd be jumping around, he'll fucking throw it over. I'm like, excuse me?
it's super funny how like he literally grabs you, he holds you, essentially looks at you, and then just fucking burns you. Like
Yeah, he
he's
literally
like,
like grabs
you're
you, makes you face him, and he's like,
burning.
"You're gonna burn, bitch. Deal with it," and so just burning you alive. Like, ayo, like calm down, my guy. Do you want a fucking cookie? Like, I'm sorry. What did I do?
True. Or I mean, like, or what? Here, I mean, we can technically talk about one more, which is just the last Vanguard map. I don't know anything about it.
I
I
know
just know
nothing about
that
any of the Vanguard
it's
maps.
it's also
I don't even own the game.
a remake type of map. It's literally it's like the sand map, I guess, from multiplayer. So it's literally that. They have a completely different area, I guess, to where you can do like different tasks and shit, which looks like original. And apparently there's like a new mini boss that you can fight or whatever. Um, but then the wonder weapon is literally a shield. I don't know what it does. I don't remember what it does. It's not important.
Mm,
But I was like, a wonder weapon as a shield?
yeah.
No. But as far as anything, I mean, we're technically kind of
Yeah.
done. I mean, I think we're done
I
as
mean,
far as
that
like
was a lot more
videos.
fun than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. I mean,
Dude, like
see, like
I tried
like
going
we
through
were
and like
able to.
talking to myself. I'm like, what do I want to put here? What do I want to put here? I'm like, I can't really explain myself. Like, I know where I want to put them, but like explaining myself is what made it hard. I'm like, how
Exactly.
can I make a reasoning
Coming up
behind why
with
I'm doing this?
coming up with the actual reasoning behind why you're putting
And
these
like,
maps
just
in these.
honestly, like I like me just like looking at this and like the way that I organized everything. It really makes you think of like your childhood in a sense of like this is what I experienced.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like
I would say so. Yeah.
just and like and the thing is like there's so little like honestly like it makes me like I'm kind of happy with it of like the fact that like the only
Yeah.
maps that I ditched out on are the shit cods.
The shake hands. Yeah. That's true.
Like
That's what I'm
I'm
saying. Like
glad that
I didn't
I
really have
really feel
any
bad for people that
that I
don't
really.
grow up on the good Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Like
I like that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, I don't think as far as like even like my
like I
list.
feel real bad for people who are growing up on fucking Vanguard right now.
It's probably the best thing that they've ever played, man.
Well,
Um,
I
like I mean,
newsflash to
the only
them,
ones that I
they
kind of
have the
like shit
shittiest
on,
gun.
yeah, the only ones that I really kind of like shit on were Die Rise, Tog, um, technically, I mean, World War II, um, I mean, Bus Depot. I didn't really shit on Verrucht or anything, but I was just like, they were just simple survivable maps that weren't very memorable for me.
Mm.
And then Shangri-La, like I know nothing about. Like I know there's an Easter egg to it, and it looks really cool. And there's lore that Shangri-La might actually be on Mars or some shit like that, and not Earth. So there's like a whole bunch of crazy conspiracy theories with that shit. But I mean, I'm happy with my list. There are certain things that I would like kind of agree with, like comparing yours and mine as far as like certain maps, and I think I can understand it more.
Yeah,
The only
personally, like
thing,
when I was watching you do it, like honestly, like we don't. There's not like a really big difference. Like obviously, there's a couple maps that I
yeah,
have
I
that
was
are
gonna say, yeah,
lower. Um,
there's not much of a huge
yeah,
difference between what we have
like
as far as
literally the
anything.
only
Like, I mean,
difference, like it's not even like obviously like a lot of mine that are lower on yours is like the ones that are lower for me are higher for you because you've had more experience than them. And then the ones that are higher for
mhm,
me, like all the like World of War maps, are higher for me because I played all of them
those are
and
the
I've had
ones
more experience
that
in
you
them.
played. Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. You've had more experience with the older
mhm.
ones versus the newer ones. I mean, other than Cold War, but you know, other than that,
Because
that's kind of it.
didn't you say like wasn't it like what COD was your first COD?
Technically, um, like one that I owned or one that like the first one that I played.
What was your first zombie map ever that you ever
Uh,
played?
Kino.
Okay, well that's not a bad start. That's not a
Kino.
bad one to start off on.
Yeah, Kino was definitely the first map I've ever touched, as far as anything, because someone that I knew had Black Ops One,
Hmm.
and I just remember the simple talk between like online play, at least on PlayStation, to where get your own window, type shit. So it was either it's literally it was technically Kino then five, no bullshit, Kino then five, and then but that's kind of what it basically was for me. I mean,
Now just talking about the whole like get your own window shit. Um, there's actually there's some fucking footage that went like because my sibling used to do the whole YouTube like YouTube and everything and he doesn't do it no more. And that's kind of what got me into the whole like the content creation. There may or may not be some footage flying around on the internet of my dumbass in
oh,
Black Ops 1 being cringe as like a 10-year-old, so we don't talk about it though.
oh, you
He
gotta
showed that me a
find
couple
it.
months back, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck was wrong with me?
Oh my god, you need to find it.
Oh, dude, if I
You
could
gotta
find
find it.
it, like,
If you could find it,
I mean, he
I
probably
was in
still
love.
has it. I don't know if he still has it on the PC he has now, but I'll have to ask him. and I'll have to do like a little like thing. Like I will definitely like I'll probably do it for my birthday this month of like just the era, like what like it's like the timeline of me. Cause I'm gonna be fucking
Cringe at least
23 this
there.
month. Like the second month, man.
I know. I don't
God,
fucking.
I know,
It's
dude. Like
just
what the fuck? I
old. I don't like
don't
it.
like being like going towards my 30s, man. Don't do it to me. Like I'm still mid, like I'm still early 20s, but
It's not going by fast, but like I mean, it's going by. It's gone faster than I feel like I've been in high
just
school.
looking at
Like
this
the years
list,
that I've
like
been.
looking at like Nocturne and Totem, like remembering how old that game is makes me feel old now. Because when did Noct like hold on, I gotta look this up now. When did Noct
Knock
fucking come
came
out?
out in like 2000. I want to say 2007 or 8. One of the two. Something around there. I think it's like 2007 or 8.
No, not
I
the
think.
you stupid fucking thing. I gotta look up the game.
You, you stupid fucking thing.
No, I don't want the mobile version. Fuck off. I didn't even know there was a mobile version of this game, but okay. Uh, 2008.
That's what I said. I think it was 2007
Well,
or
at
8.
least
One
that's
of
the
the two.
mobile version. It came out 2008. Like, why can't I find the console version? Hello? Because I mean, like consoles and like the 360 and everything came out like 2000 like what like 5 or something or maybe something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, I don't even fucking remember now. Oh yeah, 2005 was the first 360. Okay, so that okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it's just 2008. I don't know. It says mobile game, but it's just okay, whatever. I don't know why it says mobile game, but whatever. But yeah, so it came out 3 years after the consoles came out. At least 360 and all that came out. So yeah, that's a fucking while now.
Definitely.
fucking 12
I want to
years,
change
man.
it.
12 years.